Have you ever noticed how some people seem to stay calm, focused, and positive no matter what challenges come their way? Developing a strong and unbreakable positive mental attitude is not something you're born with. It's a skill you can build every day. This audiobook will guide you step by step on how to strengthen your mind, handle stress, and stay motivated even in difficult situations. You'll discover practical strategies that help you replace negative thoughts, focus on solutions, and take consistent actions that improve your life. You'll learn how small daily habits can build confidence, resilience, and clarity, and how celebrating progress and seeking knowledge can keep your momentum going. By the end, you will understand how to take control of your mindset, maintain positivity in every situation, and create a life that feels intentional, powerful, and fulfilling. If you are ready to train your mind to work for you instead of against you, stay with this audiobook because every chapter offers practical steps to transform your thinking and your life. Chapter 1. Build daily gratitude habits to strengthen your mental focus. When people wake in the morning, the mind often begins scanning for problems, unfinished tasks, health concerns, financial pressures, or fears about the future. This natural tendency toward negativity can weaken focus and drain energy. Gratitude interrupts this pattern by directing the mind toward what is already working. By consciously identifying what deserves despairs, the brain rewires itself to seek out the positive, and over time, the habit of gratitude strengthens attention, discipline, and clarity. A grateful person does not live free of challenges, but they face those challenges with more energy and stability because the mind is less scattered by fear and more centered on what is constructive. The first step to building a gratitude habit is to make it part of the daily routine. This is not about creating a long, complicated process, but about weaving short, intentional moments into life. Begin with 3 simple reflections each morning. Think of 3 things that bring genuine appreciation, something as small as a comfortable bed, the ability to breathe deeply, or the presence of a loved one. Naming these blessings creates an anchor that steadies the mind for the day ahead. It might feel repetitive at first, but consistency matters more than variety. By repeating the practice every day, the brain learns to look for gratitude without being forced. This becomes the foundation of mental focus as the mind spends less time drifting toward worry and more time rooted in acknowledgement of what is already secure. Writing down these reflections strengthens the practice even more. Keeping a small notebook or journal allows the thoughts of gratitude to be captured and revisited later. The act of writing is powerful because it slows the mind, forces clarity, and creates permanence. Reading past entries on difficult days can remind the mind of what is constant and valuable, even when circumstances feel unstable. Over time, the collection of grateful reflections becomes a personal record of strength and progress. It serves as proof that even in hard times, there are always reasons to appreciate life. Gratitude is not only a private exercise, it becomes stronger when shared. Expressing thanks to others deepens relationships and expands the influence of positivity. A kind message to a friend, a word of appreciation to a colleague, or a simple acknowledgement to a family member has a powerful effect. It not only strengthens the bond with others, but also reinforces the habit of gratitude within oneself. Speaking gratitude aloud or writing it in a note requires the mind to focus more clearly on what is valued, and in turn, it amplifies that sense of appreciation. There are practical challenges in maintaining gratitude, and it is important to recognize them. Some days may feel heavy, and the mind may resist acknowledging anything positive. In such moments, gratitude should not be forced into grand declarations, but anchored in the smallest certainties. The breath is still moving, the sun is still rising, food is still available, or a body part still functions. By narrowing the focus to the smallest blessings, gratitude becomes accessible even in difficulty. This teaches the mind to stay disciplined rather than collapse into despair. The Stoic approach is not about avoiding pain, but about choosing where attention is placed. Gratitude becomes a discipline of the mind, not a denial of reality. Science also supports the power of gratitude. Research has shown that daily gratitude practices improve sleep, reduce stress, and strengthen concentration. The brain's neural pathways adapt to repeated thought patterns. When gratitude is practiced regularly, it changes the brain's chemistry, increasing levels of dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals that regulate mood and focus. In simple terms, the more gratitude is practiced, the more the brain is trained to remain alert and balanced, even when pressure builds. This biological shift complements the mental discipline, making gratitude not just an emotional exercise, but a physiological strengthening of the mind. In daily life, building a gratitude habit does not require special tools or environments. It requires only attention and consistency. Some find it helpful to tie gratitude to existing routines. While drinking morning tea or coffee, pause to name 3 things that are going well. Before sleep, reflect on the best moment of the day, no matter how small. These simple routines create anchors that ensure gratitude is not forgotten, even during busy or stressful days. Repetition is key. The habit becomes automatic only when it is practiced daily without exception. Another practice is gratitude visualization. Closing the eyes and imagining the people, experiences, or resources one is thankful for creates a vivid mental image that strengthens emotional connection. Visualization makes gratitude more real as the mind responds strongly to imagery. For example, picturing the smile of a loved one, the comfort of a safe home, or the sound of laughter creates a sensory memory that deepens appreciation. By engaging the senses, gratitude becomes more than words. It becomes an experience that roots itself in the body and mind. Gratitude is also closely tied to humility. When a person practices gratitude daily, they begin to recognize how much of their life depends on others, family, mentors, workers, or even strangers who contribute in unseen ways. This awareness strengthens focus by reducing the ego's constant demand for more and instead grounding the mind in acknowledgement of what has already been given. A humble perspective makes it easier to adapt to challenges, as it reduces entitlement and builds patience. Gratitude, therefore, is not only about mental focus, but also about shaping character. There will always be external noise, news, social media, workplace stress that pulls the mind toward comparison, complaint, or fear. Gratitude is the shield that guards focus from being scattered by these forces. The person committed to gratitude will notice subtle but powerful shifts in daily life. Focus sharpens during work because the mind is less burdened by unnecessary worries. Relationships improve because expressions of appreciation create deeper trust. A practical exercise to begin immediately is to create a gratitude schedule. In the morning, identify 3 blessings. At midday, pause for 1 minute to acknowledge something going right. At night, reflect on the best moment of the day. This 3-step practice requires less than 10 minutes, but rewires the mind toward focus and stability. Keeping it simple makes it sustainable, and sustainability is what transforms a practice into a habit. Another valuable exercise is to write a gratitude letter. Choose a person who has contributed positively to your life, past or present, and write a letter expressing appreciation. Even if it is never delivered, the act of writing deepens gratitude and strengthens focus on the influence of others. If the letter is shared, it creates a ripple effect, spraying positivity and reinforcing the practice. Over time, gratitude becomes more than a task. It becomes part of identity, A person who practices gratitude daily is seen as more stable, trustworthy, and calm. Others notice this energy and are drawn to it, creating stronger connections and opportunities. The practice that begins privately in the mind expands outward, shaping the environment and influencing others positively. When difficulties strike, gratitude provides an anchor. Illness, loss, or failure may challenge the spirit, but gratitude reminds the mind that something valuable still remains. This does not erase pain, but it balances it, preventing despair from taking full control. It gives the courage to endure while still recognizing life's gifts. Gratitude becomes the habit that keeps the mind unbreakable, even when the heart is heavy. The conclusion is simple but powerful. Gratitude is not an accessory to life, but a foundation for mental focus and resilience. To build an unbreakable positive mental attitude, gratitude must be practiced daily with discipline, by beginning with small reflections, writing them down, sharing them with others, and staying consistent. Anyone can strengthen their focus and stability. Over time, gratitude becomes second nature, shaping the way the mind approaches every challenge and opportunity. The discipline of gratitude is the discipline of building a life that cannot be broken by external forces. This is the path toward mental strength, a daily choice to see, acknowledge, and appreciate what is already good. By practicing gratitude every day, life becomes clearer, calmer, and more resilient. The mind sharpens, focus deepens, and a positive mental attitude becomes unshakable. It begins with small, consistent steps repeated with discipline until gratitude is no longer an effort, but a way of being. This practice builds the kind of strength that endures through every season of life. Chapter 2. Practice positive self-talk to shape a resilient mindset. Every thought we allow to occupy our minds has power. Positive self-talk is not about pretending everything is perfect or denying reality. It is the conscious choice to direct the mind toward thoughts that strengthen, guide, and motivate rather than weaken or distract. The words we speak to ourselves shape emotions, influence decisions, and ultimately determine how resilient we become in the face of challenges. A resilient mindset does not arise spontaneously. It is cultivated through consistent practice, through careful attention to the messages we feed our own consciousness. Practicing positive self-talk is one of the most immediate and transformative tools available for shaping the way we respond to life. The first step in developing positive self-talk is awareness. Most people do not realize how harshly they speak to themselves. Inner voices often carry judgment, doubt, or fear. Repeating phrases like, "I can't handle this," or "I always fail." Recognizing these patterns is critical. By simply observing the thoughts that arise without judgment, the mind begins to separate automatic negativity from conscious choice. Awareness is the foundation, because without knowing the nature of our self-talk, change is impossible. The practice of noticing thoughts throughout the day, writing them down if necessary, and reflecting on their tone begins to reveal how often the mind undermines itself. Once awareness is established, the next step is deliberate correction. Positive self-talk is the act of replacing harmful or limiting thoughts with constructive alternatives. For example, instead of saying, "I'm not capable of finishing this task," a positive self-talk replacement could be, "I will take one step at a time and make progress." The focus is on empowerment rather than denial. It is important that these replacements feel believable. Overly exaggerated affirmations may be rejected by the mind, creating internal resistance. Statements should be firm, truthful, and constructive, providing guidance rather than empty cheerleading. Daily practice is essential. Positive self-talk must be repeated consistently to reshape neural pathways. This can begin with structured exercises. Each morning, spend a few minutes stating to yourself 3 statements that emphasize your strengths, capabilities, or intentions. These statements should be present-focused, not distant fantasies. They might include phrases such as, "I am prepared to face today's challenges," or "I am learning and growing through every experience." Repetition creates familiarity and reinforces a mindset of resilience over time. Another effective method is reframing challenges through language. Every difficulty presents an opportunity to train the mind. Instead of labeling an obstacle as a failure, describe it as a lesson or a step toward mastery. For instance, when encountering a setback, consciously say, "This is a chance to learn and improve," rather than "I can't handle this." Reframing shifts attention from helplessness to action. The mind responds to the language used. By choosing words that reflect growth and possibility, a resilient framework is built incrementally, reinforcing mental strength even during stressful moments. Positive self-talk is not limited to quiet reflection. It can be integrated into actions throughout the day. While preparing for a presentation, remind yourself, "I am confident and clear in my communication." When tackling a complex project, repeat, "I am capable and focused, and I will complete each step thoroughly." The mind responds immediately to intentional statements. Over time, these phrases create automatic patterns that replace self-doubt with determination. The discipline of speaking constructively to oneself becomes a habit, forming the foundation of a resilient mindset. It is equally important to guard against negative triggers. Surrounding oneself with constant criticism, gossip, or toxic influences can undermine even the most consistent self-talk practice. By consciously choosing environments, media, and conversations that support constructive thinking, the mind is protected and nourished. Positive self-talk is reinforced by external consistency, not in isolation. The combination of inner discipline and mindful selection of surroundings multiplies resilience, allowing the mind to maintain focus and composure under pressure. Visualization strengthens positive self-talk. Imagining oneself successfully navigating challenges while repeating constructive statements solidifies belief. Picture completing tasks with confidence or handling interpersonal conflict calmly while affirming, "I am equipped and capable in every situation." This pairing of mental imagery with verbal reinforcement creates a holistic experience that engages both the rational and emotional aspects of the mind. Visualization adds depth to positive self-talk, turning abstract words into tangible internal experiences. Recording your own voice is another practical technique. Hearing your affirmations spoken aloud in your own tone reinforces the message differently than reading silently. It strengthens retention and provides an external reference during difficult times. Replaying these recordings during commutes, workouts, or quiet moments offers constant reinforcement. The consistency of hearing the words repeatedly helps internalize them, transforming conscious effort into automatic mindset patterns over time. It is essential to maintain honesty with oneself. Positive self-talk does not excuse mistakes or shortcomings. Acknowledge reality while choosing language that emphasizes solutions, capability, and growth. For example, rather than saying, "I never do anything right," a resilient statement might be, "I made a mistake, and I am correcting it with focus and learning." Honesty paired with constructive language allows the mind to process difficulties clearly and build competence rather than avoid responsibility. This balance is crucial for long-term mental strength. Consistency is the cornerstone of transformation. Positive self-talk must be applied throughout life, not only in calm moments, but especially under pressure. Challenges, criticism, or unexpected setbacks test mental resilience. In these moments, Deliberately choosing empowering statements creates an internal anchor. It stabilizes emotion, sharpens attention, and enhances problem-solving capacity. The mind trained in this way becomes adaptable rather than reactive, maintaining focus and composure even in turbulent circumstances. Reflection reinforces progress. At the end of each day, take a moment to review the self-talk that occurred. Note which statements felt effective, which situations challenged you, and where improvements can be made. Reflection allows the mind to become conscious of patterns, recognize progress, and identify areas for refinement. This iterative approach ensures that self-talk evolves in strength and sophistication, shaping a resilient mindset that grows over time. Journaling is another valuable tool. Write down both the challenges encountered and the positive self-talk used to navigate them. Recording success reinforces belief and builds a personal library of evidence that resilience works. On particularly difficult days, reviewing these entries can restore confidence and remind the mind of proven capability. The act of documentation turns abstract thoughts into tangible reinforcement, anchoring positive self-talk in lived experience. Positive self-talk also influences emotional regulation. The mind often reacts before the body has a chance to settle. By choosing empowering language, the emotional response is guided rather than controlled by default. Anger, fear, or self-doubt can be redirected into calm determination when statements such as, "I am composed and capable of handling this," are repeated consciously. Emotional equilibrium strengthens mental resilience and enhances clarity in decision-making. Accountability enhances the practice. Share intentions with a mentor, friend, or supportive peer. Knowing that progress is being observed encourages consistency and reflection. Discussing challenges and the language used to overcome them provides insight and encouragement. Accountability ensures that self-talk is not confined to private moments, but integrated into real-world practice. This alignment between intention and action reinforces long-term habit formation. Every person has a unique voice, and positive self-talk should feel authentic. Statements should reflect individual strengths, values, and priorities. Authenticity ensures that the mind accepts the messages without internal resistance. Experiment with phrasing and tone until the statements feel convincing. Personal resonance is critical because the mind is more likely to internalize and act on statements that feel naturally credible. Resilience is built gradually. Positive self-talk is not a single solution, but a lifelong discipline. The mind learns slowly, reinforcing pathways over time with consistent repetition. Expecting immediate perfection is unrealistic. Patience is necessary. Every day presents opportunities to practice, adjust, and strengthen. Persistence compounds, and each day of deliberate self-talk adds to a foundation that eventually becomes automatic, unshakable, and resilient. The final insight is that positive self-talk shapes identity. The words we repeat form the lens through which we see ourselves and the world. By choosing constructive, empowering language consistently, the mind internalizes these messages, and behavior aligns with the narrative. Confidence, focus, perseverance, and adaptability emerge naturally. A resilient mindset is the product of intentional daily practice, conscious attention to language, and consistent reinforcement through thought, speech, and action. Positive self-talk is the tool through which ordinary challenges become manageable, setbacks become lessons, and goals become achievable. It strengthens the mind, regulates emotion, and guides action. When practiced daily with discipline, it shapes a person who responds rather than reacts, who persists rather than collapses, and who faces life with clarity, strength, and unwavering determination. Through this practice, the mind becomes a stable and powerful instrument capable of sustaining an unbreakable positive mental attitude. Chapter 3. Set clear goals daily to guide your direction. Setting clear goals each day is one of the most powerful actions a person can take to create focus, direction, and meaningful progress in life. Without defined goals, energy often disperses across distractions, leaving the mind fatigued and achievements inconsistent. Goals act as anchors for attention, providing a framework that guides every decision, every effort, and every moment of the day. They are not abstract wishes or vague desires. A goal is a conscious choice that gives clarity to intention and structure to action. By setting goals deliberately, the mind is trained to prioritize what matters most, improving efficiency, discipline, and resilience. The first step in creating effective daily goals is simplicity. A goal does not have to be large or complex to have impact. Even small, actionable objectives can dramatically shape focus when they are specific and measurable. For instance, instead of setting a general aim such as work on self-improvement, define a clear task. Write 500 words of my personal development journal, or practice gratitude for 5 minutes. Specificity reduces mental friction because the brain immediately knows what to do, eliminating wasted energy on uncertainty or indecision. Clarity is another essential aspect. A goal should be precise enough that progress can be recognized and evaluated. Vague goals allow the mind to drift, making it difficult to sustain effort. Writing goals down is a simple but powerful technique that increases commitment. When a goal is written clearly on paper or in a digital note, the mind interprets it as concrete, actionable, and worthy of attention. This act of externalizing intention moves it from abstract thought into a plan that can be implemented consistently. Goals should also be realistic and achievable within the daily context. Setting overly ambitious targets can create stress, frustration, and a sense of failure, which undermines focus and motivation. Conversely, achievable goals encourage steady progress and reinforce self-efficacy. Breaking larger ambitions into smaller daily steps creates momentum. Each completed goal strengthens confidence, proving that consistent effort produces tangible results. This approach builds the kind of disciplined mindset necessary for long-term resilience and success. Prioritization is key. Not all tasks are equally important, and the mind can become overwhelmed if everything is treated as urgent. Each morning or the night before, identify the most impactful goals for the day. Ask which actions will produce the most meaningful progress toward long-term objectives. By focusing on high-value tasks first, energy is allocated to what matters, reducing the risk of distraction and wasted effort. Daily goals also serve as a measuring stick for self-awareness and reflection. At the end of the day, reviewing what was accomplished, what fell short, and why provides valuable insights. This reflection is not for self-criticism, but for adjustment and improvement. Understanding patterns of productivity and attention allows the mind to refine strategies, eliminate inefficiencies, and maintain consistent progress. Each day becomes an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve the clarity of intention. The psychological impact of daily goals is profound. A focused mind experiences less stress because tasks are organized and manageable. Knowing exactly what to do reduces mental clutter and the anxiety associated with uncertainty. Goals provide a sense of control and purpose, which strengthens resilience when challenges arise. When the mind is anchored by clear objectives, external circumstances are less likely to cause distraction or emotional disruption, allowing consistent effort even in difficult situations. Incorporating visualization enhances goal effectiveness. Before starting the day, take a moment to mentally picture completing each goal successfully. Visualizing the process and the outcome engages both the conscious and subconscious mind. The mind begins to anticipate success, creating motivation and reducing resistance. Visualization also helps identify potential obstacles and plan solutions proactively, reinforcing a sense of preparedness and confidence. Consistency is essential. Goals are most powerful when they are part of a daily routine. Sporadic goal setting has minimal impact because the mind does not develop habitual focus. Committing to daily goal setting disciplines the attention, organizes effort, and trains the brain to seek measurable progress. Over time, the mind naturally adopts a forward-moving pattern, reducing procrastination and increasing the ability to remain calm, organized, and resilient under pressure. Goals should be flexible within structure. Life is unpredictable, and unforeseen circumstances can disrupt plans. The purpose of daily goals is not rigidity, but clarity and direction. Adjustments are part of disciplined action. The mind remains focused when it understands which elements are priorities and which can adapt to circumstances. Flexibility combined with commitment builds resilience, allowing consistent movement toward objectives without unnecessary stress. Integration with long-term objectives magnifies the impact of daily goals. Each daily action becomes a step toward broader ambitions. Seeing how small intentional efforts accumulate creates motivation and purpose. For example, practicing a skill for 20 minutes a day compounds into mastery over months. Daily goals provide a practical structure to ensure long-term aspirations are steadily achieved rather than left to chance. The mind develops an enduring orientation toward progress, which fosters confidence, clarity, and persistence. Emotional engagement enhances effectiveness. Daily goals are not only about completing tasks, but also about connecting with why the tasks matter. When the mind understands the purpose behind each goal, motivation strengthens. Writing goals in a way that emphasizes personal meaning, contribution, or growth increases commitment. Feeling the value of each action enhances focus and creates a resilient mindset that persists even when effort feels challenging. Technology can support goal setting without replacing disciplined thought. Tools such as planners, reminders, or tracking apps help organize daily tasks and track completion. The key is to use these tools to support focus, not to create dependency. The mind remains the central driver of progress, using tools as instruments rather than replacements for conscious effort. Effective use of these aids can simplify tracking, reduce forgetfulness, and reinforce daily consistency. It is important to celebrate progress. Even small achievements should be acknowledged. Completion of daily goals reinforces the habit loop, strengthens confidence, and provides positive feedback that fuels further effort. Recognizing accomplishment teaches the mind that effort produces results, solidifying the connection between intention and achievement. This reinforces resilience as the brain associates focus and discipline with tangible benefits. Avoid overloading the mind with excessive goals. Focus is diminished when attention is scattered across too many objectives. Select 3 to 5 meaningful daily goals and give them full attention. This approach ensures deep engagement, higher quality results, and consistent progress. Simplicity and clarity are more powerful than quantity in maintaining mental focus and building a resilient mindset. Daily goals can also strengthen problem-solving skills. By clearly defining objectives, obstacles become easier to identify and solutions more apparent. When challenges arise, the mind can adjust actions with precision, maintaining momentum toward the desired outcome. Linking goals with routine increases consistency. Pair goal-related actions with established habits, such as morning rituals, work sessions, or evening reflection. Anchoring new objectives to existing patterns reduces resistance and ensures integration into daily life. The mind develops automatic recognition of tasks, which enhances productivity and supports mental endurance. Language matters. When stating daily goals, use positive and actionable phrasing. Words like complete, practice, build, or focus create clarity and activate intentionality. Avoid vague or negative language that can create hesitation or doubt. The specificity of words contributes directly to mental engagement and discipline, reinforcing the connection between thought and action. In conclusion, setting clear daily goals is not simply an organizational tool, but a transformative practice for the mind. It organizes effort, strengthens focus, reduces stress, and creates momentum toward long-term success. By keeping goals simple, specific, actionable, and meaningful, the mind develops resilience, clarity, and determination. Through daily reflection, consistent action, and integration with broader objectives, goals provide direction, purpose, and measurable progress. Over time, this disciplined practice shapes a mindset that is focused, strong, and capable of navigating life with intentionality and unwavering commitment. Chapter 4. Replace negative thoughts quickly with empowering affirmations. The mind naturally generates thoughts, and many of these arise automatically without conscious control. Some thoughts are constructive, helping to solve problems or plan ahead, while others are negative, undermining confidence, focus, and emotional stability. Learning to replace negative thoughts quickly with empowering affirmations is a deliberate act of mental training. This practice strengthens resilience, sharpens focus, and creates a mindset capable of handling challenges with clarity and determination. It is not about ignoring reality or pretending difficulties do not exist. It is about choosing thoughts that are aligned with action, strength, and possibility, and refusing to let destructive thinking dominate. The first step is recognition. Negative thoughts often arise subtly, embedded in assumptions, fears, or habitual patterns. Observing these thoughts without judgment is essential. By noticing when a thought is critical, fearful, or disempowering, the mind can intervene. Awareness creates a pause between stimulus and response. This pause is the opportunity to replace negativity with a statement that supports confidence, focus, or resilience. Without recognition, automatic negativity continues unchecked, slowly eroding mental strength. Once a negative thought is identified, replacement is immediate. Waiting too long allows the mind to dwell on harmful patterns. Choose a positive, empowering statement that counters the negative thought directly. For example, if the mind says, "I will fail at this task," replace it with, "I am capable of handling this challenge with focus and skill." The affirmation should be precise, believable, and present-focused. Phrases that are too vague or unrealistic are less effective because the mind may reject them. The statement must feel actionable and credible. Consistency is critical. Every day will present countless opportunities for negative thinking. Committing to replacing each destructive thought builds mental discipline over time. The process becomes easier with practice. As the mind gradually anticipates the replacement, it begins to shift from default negativity to automatic affirmation. Over weeks, this habit reshapes the neural pathways responsible for thought patterns, creating a mental environment that prioritizes constructive thinking. Affirmations work best when accompanied by a sense of intentionality. Simply repeating a phrase without attention limits effectiveness. Speak the affirmation with conviction, visualize the desired outcome, and engage the emotions associated with success or calm. If the affirmation is about confidence, imagine performing the task with composure and capability. If it is about focus, Picture the mind clearly completing steps efficiently. Engaging the senses and emotions strengthens the mental impact of the affirmation, making it more than a word. It becomes an internal experience. Journaling can reinforce this practice. Writing down both the negative thoughts and the empowering replacements helps solidify awareness and action. Over time, reviewing these entries shows progress, highlights recurring challenges, and provides evidence of growth. The act of recording transforms transient thoughts into tangible proof that change is occurring. This reflection strengthens belief and encourages continued application, creating a feedback loop that amplifies resilience and focus. Negative thinking often arises from stress, fear, or self-doubt. Recognizing triggers is important because it allows preemptive preparation. Certain situations, people, or environments may provoke habitual negativity. Identifying these patterns enables the mind to anticipate the challenge and prepare affirmations in advance. Having pre-planned statements ready makes the practice faster, more reliable, and more effective. The mind learns that negativity does not control response. It is an event that can be redirected consciously. Empowering affirmations should be framed positively rather than negatively. Instead of saying, "I am not weak," say, "I am strong and capable." The mind responds to constructive phrasing more efficiently because it focuses on potential and action rather than opposition or denial. Positive framing enhances energy, clarity, and confidence, ensuring that the replacement thought has a tangible reinforcing effect. Over time, the mind learns to prefer statements that energize rather than drain attention. The practice extends beyond mental repetition. Speaking affirmations aloud, recording them, or listening to them regularly strengthens the neural impact. Hearing words in one's own voice reinforces credibility, engagement, and memorability. Recordings can be replayed during daily routines, making reinforcement consistent even in brief moments. The brain begins to absorb these statements automatically, gradually creating a default mode of constructive thinking. Situations of high pressure demand extra attention. Negative thoughts tend to multiply when challenges are urgent, unexpected, or emotionally charged. In these moments, immediate replacement becomes critical. Focused repetition of an empowering statement stabilizes emotion, sharpens attention, and directs energy toward constructive action. The mind experiences proof that resilience is possible even under stress. With practice, the habit of instant replacement becomes automatic, reducing reactionary fear, doubt, or anxiety. The timing of replacement is crucial. Intervening at the first moment of negative thought is most effective. Allowing the thought to linger gives it weight and emotional momentum, making it harder to redirect. The longer a destructive thought persists, the more the brain strengthens its neural pattern. Quick, decisive replacement interrupts this process and gradually weakens negative pathways while reinforcing constructive ones. Speed and consistency determine the effectiveness of this practice. Emotional engagement is equally important. Affirmations without feeling often feel hollow to the mind. Experiencing the emotions associated with confidence, capability, or calm while stating the affirmation enhances neural integration. The mind learns not only the words, but the associated internal state, making it easier to access the same mindset in real-world situations. Emotional investment ensures that affirmations are not merely theoretical, but actively shape mental responses. Daily repetition forms the habit. Each negative thought replaced builds momentum. Over time, the mind automatically seeks empowering alternatives, even before conscious intervention. The habit creates a default mode of constructive thinking, reducing energy spent on doubt, fear, or self-criticism. Accountability and external reinforcements strengthen results. Sharing intentions or progress with a trusted mentor, coach, or supportive peer adds structure and commitment. Discussing common negative patterns and effective replacements provides insight, encouragement, and perspective. External reinforcement ensures consistency, deepens understanding, and helps maintain practice even when internal motivation falters. Flexibility within discipline matters. Not every negative thought can be fully neutralized immediately. The goal is progress, not perfection. Persistent practice ensures incremental improvement. Each replacement strengthens neural pathways, improves focus, and reduces the dominance of negativity. Over weeks and months, cumulative effects create a resilient, empowered mindset capable of facing challenges without being overwhelmed. The language of affirmations shapes identity. Statements such as, "I am capable," "I can manage this," or "I learn from every experience," gradually redefine the self-concept. The mind internalizes these statements, aligning thoughts, emotions, and actions with the new perspective. Resilience, focus, and constructive thinking emerge naturally because the brain has been trained to operate within this positive framework. Replacing negative thoughts with empowering affirmations directly influences decision-making. When the mind is anchored by constructive language, choices become deliberate rather than reactive. Challenges are approached with clarity, solutions are considered, and distractions are minimized. Thought patterns shift from fear-based responses to action-based problem-solving. This discipline strengthens the mental foundation required for consistent progress and long-term growth. Chapter 5. Focus on solutions daily instead of dwelling on problems. The first step to shifting focus is awareness. Begin by observing how often attention lingers on problems rather than potential actions. Notice the language used internally. Phrases such as, "I can't handle this," "This is impossible," or "Why does this always happen to me?" signal problem-focused thinking. Recognition of this pattern creates the opportunity for deliberate redirection. Simply acknowledging that dwelling on problems is unproductive initiates the shift towards solution-oriented thinking. Awareness alone reduces unconscious fixation, preparing the mind to move into constructive action. Once aware, the next step is reframing. Reframing transforms a problem from a source of frustration into a point of opportunity. Ask practical questions like, "What can I do to improve this situation?" or "What is within my control here?" This shift moves energy from complaint to exploration. The mind begins to scan for actionable options rather than remaining trapped in regret, blame, or fear. Reframing is not about denying difficulty, but about choosing to focus on actionable steps that lead to tangible results. Daily practice of solution-focused thinking is essential. Each morning, identify potential challenges for the day and consciously plan how to respond. Instead of worrying about traffic, schedule extra time and consider alternative routes. Instead of stressing over work assignments, list concrete steps to complete them efficiently. Anticipating solutions in advance reduces reactive anxiety and strengthens the mind's ability to remain calm and focused under pressure. Daily repetition ensures the habit becomes automatic, forming the foundation of consistent resilience. Breaking problems into smaller, manageable components increases clarity. Large challenges often overwhelm because the mind perceives them as insurmountable. By dividing them into actionable parts, it becomes easier to identify solutions and make progress. For instance, if a project feels impossible, outline specific steps to complete it, piece by piece. Each step completed provides evidence of progress, reinforcing confidence and cultivating a solution-oriented mindset. The mind begins to recognize that obstacles are not threats but tasks to navigate systematically. Action is central to solution-focused thinking. Identifying solutions without implementing them is insufficient. Immediate, deliberate action turns intention into results. For example, if finances are tight, create a practical budget or explore additional income options. The act of taking concrete steps reduces stress and strengthens confidence. Momentum builds when energy is channeled toward solutions rather than wasted on rumination. A focus on doing transforms abstract possibilities into tangible outcomes, reinforcing a proactive mindset. Language shapes attention. Words like can, will, next step, or possible activate constructive thinking, while words such as never, impossible, or stuck reinforce defeat. Choosing language intentionally keeps the mind oriented toward opportunity. Visualization strengthens the shift from problems to solutions. Picture the desired outcome and the steps needed to achieve it. Visualize overcoming obstacles with composure and resourcefulness. This process engages both the conscious and subconscious mind, creating a sense of preparedness and reducing uncertainty. Imagining success provides motivation and enhances focus by clarifying the path forward. When visualized repeatedly, solutions feel achievable, and the mind is less likely to become paralyzed by perceived difficulties. Prioritization ensures energy is directed effectively. Not every problem requires immediate attention, and not every challenge is equally impactful. Evaluate which issues matter most and focus on actionable steps that produce the greatest results. This prevents mental energy from being squandered on minor setbacks or uncontrollable circumstances. Concentrating on high-value solutions builds a sense of control and accelerates progress, reinforcing the habit of constructive focus. Reflection reinforces learning. At the end of the day, review the challenges encountered and the solutions implemented. Ask, what worked and what can be improved? Reflection transforms experience into insight, allowing the mind to anticipate obstacles and refine strategies. Each day's practice strengthens the ability to respond proactively rather than reactively, cultivating a mindset that naturally searches for possibilities instead of dwelling on setbacks. Solution-focused thinking also requires adaptability. Not every initial solution succeeds, and obstacles may change unexpectedly. Flexibility allows the mind to adjust plans quickly without reverting to frustration or defeat. Treat each setback as information rather than failure. Evaluate what can be modified and implement the next course of action. This iterative approach develops mental agility, reinforcing resilience and deepening confidence in the ability to overcome challenges. Small victories reinforce the process. Completing even minor solutions strengthens belief in capability and momentum. These accomplishments serve as reminders that action, not worry, produces results. The brain begins to associate effort with success, reinforcing the cycle of solution-oriented thinking. Momentum compounds, making the mind more confident and capable with each challenge faced and overcome. Support from others enhances problem-solving. Collaborating with mentors, peers, or colleagues provides additional perspectives and resources. Discussing potential solutions often reveals options that were not initially visible. Constructive collaboration reinforces solution-oriented thinking and reduces isolation, creating a network that amplifies resilience and promotes continuous progress. Mindset is strengthened by self-affirmation. Statements like, "I can find a way forward," "Every challenge has a solution," or "I am capable of handling this," reinforce the focus on actionable steps rather than worry. Repeating these affirmations consistently aligns the mind with proactive problem-solving. Over time, this self-reinforcement strengthens mental resilience and improves focus during moments of stress. Solution-focused thinking is also a tool for emotional regulation. Focusing on steps to improve a situation reduces feelings of helplessness, frustration, or anxiety. The mind experiences clarity and control, creating a stable foundation for decision-making. Emotional stability reinforces rational action, ensuring that responses are deliberate rather than reactionary, which strengthens overall mental toughness. Documenting solutions supports progress tracking. Writing down problems and corresponding steps taken ensures accountability and clarity. Reviewing this record allows recognition of achievements, identification of patterns, and assessment of effective strategies. The act of documentation reinforces the habit of proactive thinking and creates a concrete reference for maintaining focus in future challenges. Discipline is necessary to maintain the practice. The mind naturally gravitates toward worry and rumination when fatigued or stressed. Consistently redirecting attention towards solutions strengthens mental stamina and develops a resilient mindset. The more disciplined the practice, the more automatic solution-focused thinking becomes, reducing reliance on willpower alone and creating a sustainable framework for mental strength. Ultimately, focusing on solutions rather than problems transforms how life is experienced. Challenges no longer paralyze, obstacles become navigable, setbacks are treated as information rather than defeat. The mind becomes skilled at seeing pathways forward, prioritizing action, and maintaining composure. Daily practice ensures that this orientation becomes habitual, shaping a mindset capable of sustaining focus, perseverance, and confidence in any circumstance. This practice is transformative because it empowers the individual to take control of circumstances within their power while minimizing wasted energy on issues beyond control. Each day of applying solution-focused thinking builds mental resilience, sharpens decision-making, and strengthens the positive mental attitude necessary for consistent progress. The mind gradually internalizes the principle that energy directed toward action produces results, while energy spent on dwelling produces fatigue and stagnation. By consistently applying this approach, life becomes less reactive and more intentional. Every challenge is met with clarity, every obstacle is addressed systematically, and every decision is guided by actionable insight. Focusing on solutions is not a single event, but a continuous practice. Over time, it produces a mind that diligently seeks possibilities, adapts with ease, and sustains progress under pressure. The habitual redirection of attention from problems to solutions forms the foundation of an unbreakable positive mental attitude, capable of navigating life with purpose, focus, and unwavering resilience. Chapter 6. Surround yourself with uplifting people to stay motivated. The people you spend the most time with have a profound impact on your mindset, motivation, and overall energy. Human beings are naturally influenced by their social environment, and surrounding yourself with uplifting individuals strengthens resilience, focus, and a positive mental attitude. Uplifting people inspire action, provide encouragement, and create a sense of accountability that propels you toward your goals. Conversely, negative or unsupportive individuals can drain energy, reinforce doubt, and subtly shape your beliefs in ways that limit growth. Choosing companions intentionally is not about avoiding reality or rejecting responsibility. It is about creating a mental and emotional environment that enhances your ability to thrive and maintain momentum in life. The first step is awareness of your current social circle. Take an honest inventory of the people you interact with regularly. Consider who energizes you and who depletes you. Intentional selection is essential. Surround yourself with people who inspire confidence, discipline, and positivity. Seek relationships with individuals who demonstrate perseverance, resilience, and practical problem-solving. Uplifting companions do not offer empty praise, but encourage growth. hold you accountable, and model constructive behaviors. Their presence provides a mirror for your own potential and reinforces habits that cultivate a strong mental attitude. Choosing who to spend time with is an act of self-respect and a strategic step in developing consistent motivation. Interaction with uplifting people reinforces learning. Observing how they respond to challenges, setbacks, or opportunities provides practical examples of resilience and solution-oriented thinking. Their behaviors and language serve as implicit lessons, shaping your own approach to difficulties. Exposure to constructive dialogue and mindful actions accelerates personal growth because the mind absorbs patterns of thought, communication, and behavior unconsciously. Being around individuals who exemplify focus and positivity creates a fertile environment for your own mindset to flourish. Positive social engagement encourages accountability. Sharing goals, progress, and challenges with supportive individuals increases commitment and follow-through. Knowing that someone else is aware of your objectives motivates action and discourages procrastination. Constructive feedback from trustworthy companions helps refine strategies and reinforces the habit of deliberate effort. Accountability transforms abstract intentions into tangible achievements, ensuring that energy and focus remain aligned with personal aspirations. Encouragement is another critical aspect. Uplifting people offer motivation during moments of doubt or fatigue. Their support can take the form of words, gestures, or constructive guidance, reminding you of your capability and progress. These interactions help maintain momentum when circumstances are difficult, reinforcing the belief that challenges are manageable and growth is possible. Motivation from others is amplified when it is paired with personal discipline and intentional effort. Emotional support is essential for resilience. Life inevitably presents setbacks, frustrations, and uncertainties. Being surrounded by individuals who remain calm, composed, and solution-focused provides stability in times of stress. Their presence models emotional regulation and constructive responses, reducing the likelihood of reactive negativity. Observing and engaging with emotionally balanced companions strengthens your ability to remain centered, maintain clarity, and navigate difficulties effectively. Boundaries are equally important. It is unrealistic to expect all relationships to be uplifting at all times. Protect your energy by limiting time with individuals who consistently provoke negativity, distraction, or self-doubt. Setting boundaries is not a rejection of others, but a conscious decision to preserve focus, discipline, and mental well-being. Maintaining clear limits allows your energy to be directed toward relationships that contribute positively to growth and resilience. Regular evaluation sustains effectiveness. Periodically assess whether your social environment continues to support motivation, focus, and constructive habits. Circumstances, goals, and relationships evolve, and continuous assessment ensures alignment with long-term aspirations. Adjusting the amount of time spent with certain individuals or seeking new connections strengthens the habit of surrounding yourself with influence that reinforces your mental attitude and daily progress. Collaboration with uplifting individuals generates creativity and innovation. When the environment encourages constructive dialogue, problem-solving, and exploration, new ideas emerge more readily. Exposure to different perspectives combined with shared positivity accelerates growth and expands capacity for creative solutions. This dynamic fosters a mindset that is adaptable, proactive, and energized by possibilities rather than limited by fear or negativity. Reciprocity enhances relationships. Contributing support, encouragement, and constructive input strengthens bonds with uplifting individuals. Mutual reinforcement ensures that positive influence is sustained and amplified. Being a source of motivation for others cultivates a sense of purpose, reinforces personal habits, and deepens the impact of surrounding oneself with supportive companions. Contribution solidifies accountability and encourages consistent engagement in growth-oriented interactions. Mentorship adds structured guidance. Seeking advice and wisdom from individuals with experience in areas of personal or professional growth accelerates progress. Mentors provide practical insights, constructive critique, and encouragement that reinforce resilience and actionable strategies. Structured guidance ensures that time spent with uplifting people is maximized for learning, skill development, and mental fortitude. Intentional community building magnifies benefits. Actively participating in groups, workshops, or networks composed of motivated, disciplined, and solution-oriented individuals creates a consistent and reinforcing environment. Community interactions provide multiple sources of perspective, accountability, and encouragement. Being part of a network that values progress, focus, and positivity strengthens both individual and collective resilience. Exposure to high standards elevates personal expectations. Uplifting individuals often operate at levels of discipline, focus, and achievement that inspire similar commitment in those around them. Observing excellence encourages self-reflection, goal-setting, and persistent effort. By surrounding yourself with people who exemplify these qualities, the mind naturally aligns with higher standards of performance, behavior, and mindset. Active listening strengthens understanding and connection. Paying attention to the insights, experiences, and guidance of uplifting individuals ensures that their influence is absorbed and applied effectively. Reflection on these interactions helps translate observations into actionable strategies for personal growth. Listening actively reinforces engagement and maximizes the impact of positive social influence on mental attitude. Celebrating achievements collectively reinforces motivation. Sharing milestones, progress, and successes with supportive individuals strengthens confidence and encourages continued effort. Recognition from others validates accomplishments and creates an emotional reward that reinforces constructive habits. This communal celebration of growth maintains focus, energy, and commitment to ongoing improvement. The cumulative effect of surrounding yourself with uplifting people is transformative. Each interaction, conversation, and shared experience reinforces resilience, motivation, and clarity. The mind becomes attuned to constructive thinking, disciplined action, and purposeful behavior. Positive influence shapes habits, strengthens focus, and cultivates a mindset capable of sustaining a strong mental attitude, even in challenging circumstances. Ultimately, the deliberate choice to spend time with individuals who inspire, encourage, and challenge you enhances daily motivation and long-term growth. The energy, perspective, and support gained from these relationships are invaluable tools for maintaining focus, discipline, and a solution-oriented mindset. Consistently surrounding yourself with uplifting people is a practical and actionable strategy that strengthens resilience, amplifies progress, and ensures that the mental attitude necessary for success remains unbreakable. Chapter 7. Take small, consistent actions to build long-term confidence. Building long-term confidence is not the result of a single grand action, but the product of small, consistent steps taken deliberately every day. Confidence grows when the mind experiences repeated success and mastery over incremental tasks. Each small action reinforces capability, discipline, and self-trust, creating a compounding effect that transforms mindset over time. The key is consistency. Daily effort, no matter how modest, strengthens neural pathways associated with competence, resilience, and self-assurance. When approached systematically, Small actions become the foundation for sustainable confidence and the ability to handle increasingly challenging situations with calm and clarity. The first principle is intentionality. Each action, no matter how small, should have a clear purpose and connection to broader goals. Random activity does not build confidence. Deliberate effort does. For instance, committing to writing for 15 minutes each day, practicing a skill consistently, or completing a simple task with full focus strengthens the habit of achievement. By attaching meaning to each step, the mind internalizes the experience as progress, reinforcing belief in one's capability and commitment to growth. Consistency outweighs intensity. Taking large, sporadic actions may provide temporary boosts of confidence, but does not create long-term reliability or mental endurance. Small, manageable steps taken every day establish a rhythm that the mind recognizes as dependable. This rhythm trains attention, strengthens focus, and gradually expands comfort zones. Over time, the accumulation of these consistent efforts produces a tangible sense of competence that is resilient to setbacks and challenges. Measurable progress reinforces momentum. Tracking small actions helps visualize improvement and maintains motivation. Whether it is noting completed tasks in a journal, marking milestones, or reviewing incremental skill development, measurement allows the mind to perceive growth clearly. Observing progress reduces self-doubt, validates effort, and provides tangible evidence that consistent action produces results. The brain learns that deliberate effort leads to success, reinforcing confidence in future challenges. Starting small prevents overwhelm. Large goals can intimidate and paralyze action if approached without preparation. Breaking objectives into bite-sized steps allows focus, reduces anxiety, and ensures each action is achievable. Daily repetition strengthens habit formation. Repeatedly engaging in small actions creates automaticity, reducing reliance on willpower alone. When effort becomes habitual, the mind expects completion, and consistency becomes natural. Habits form the backbone of long-term confidence because they provide structure, reliability, and evidence of discipline. Each repeated action reinforces the belief that progress is attainable through sustained effort. Reflection enhances learning and reinforcement. At the end of each day, review the actions taken and the outcomes achieved. Ask which steps were successful, which can be improved, and what lessons emerged. Reflection transforms routine effort into conscious learning, allowing the mind to refine methods, identify patterns, and strengthen strategies. This practice reinforces the connection between effort and results, deepening confidence in one's ability to manage challenges effectively. Facing small challenges consistently builds resilience. Engaging in controlled difficulty, such as stepping slightly outside comfort zones, strengthens the mind's capacity to handle discomfort and uncertainty. Over time, these incremental experiences expand confidence in adaptability and problem-solving. The mind learns that obstacles are not threats, but opportunities for skill development, reinforcing a stable and proactive mental attitude. Celebrating progress, even in small ways, reinforces behavior. Recognizing achievements validates effort and strengthens motivation to continue. Simple acknowledgements, notes, or personal rewards provide positive feedback that reinforces the neural associations between action, success, and satisfaction. This feedback loop accelerates the development of confidence, making it more durable and self-sustaining. Accountability magnifies impact. Sharing goals and small actions with a mentor, peer, or supportive community encourages commitment and follow-through. External observation reinforces consistency and provides feedback, ensuring that small actions are completed and applied effectively. Accountability transforms private effort into visible practice, strengthening self-discipline and reinforcing mental resilience. Incremental action reduces fear of failure. Large, overwhelming tasks often trigger anxiety and hesitation. Approaching objectives through small, consistent steps mitigates these fears. Each completed action builds a record of success, demonstrating capability and reducing the psychological impact of potential setbacks. The mind gradually associates effort with achievement rather than risk, cultivating courage and confidence. Intentional sequencing improves efficiency. Planning the order of small actions ensures focus is maintained and energy is directed strategically. Prioritizing steps that yield immediate reinforcement encourages momentum and prevents fatigue. Sequence creates a sense of progression, reinforcing the perception of continuous achievement and sustained capability. Each step naturally leads to the next, strengthening confidence in both planning and execution. Integration into daily routine ensures sustainability. Pairing small actions with established habits such as morning routines, work periods, or evening reflection ensures consistency and reduces resistance. Anchoring growth-focused behaviors into existing structures maximizes adherence and minimizes disruption. The mind becomes accustomed to regular progress, embedding confidence-building practices into everyday life. Visualization amplifies the effect of small actions. Mentally rehearsing tasks before performing them prepares the mind for success, clarifies steps, and enhances focus. Visualizing completion reinforces the expectation of positive outcomes and strengthens belief in one's abilities. Combined with actual practice, visualization accelerates skill acquisition, reduces hesitation, and reinforces a sense of mastery. Resilience emerges from repetition. Consistently taking small actions, even when progress feels slow or challenges arise, builds mental endurance. The mind learns that persistence produces results, and that temporary setbacks do not indicate failure. Over time, this habitual perseverance cultivates unwavering confidence in the ability to handle diverse situations with composure and capability. Feedback refines competence. Evaluating outcomes of small actions identifies areas for adjustment and improvement. Constructive feedback enhances skill development, efficiency, and decision-making. The mind develops adaptability, confidence in judgment, and the ability to implement changes without hesitation. Learning from consistent action strengthens both capability and self-assurance. Long-term confidence is a product of compounded effort. Each small, deliberate step contributes to a larger trajectory of achievement, skill, and mastery. The accumulation of consistent action over weeks, months, and years establishes a foundation of competence that is deeply ingrained. The mind recognizes a pattern of reliable progress, internalizing confidence as an enduring attribute rather than a temporary feeling. Persistence builds trust in oneself. Following through on daily actions demonstrates reliability, discipline, and commitment. This self-trust becomes a core source of confidence because it is based on tangible evidence rather than external validation. Knowing that effort is applied consistently, regardless of circumstance, strengthens belief in the ability to face future challenges effectively. Small, consistent actions are transformative because they create a cycle of learning, achievement, and reinforcement. Each step strengthens skill, focus, and resilience, while providing evidence of capability. Over time, these daily efforts compound into profound self-assurance, equipping the mind to confront complexity, uncertainty, and challenge with composure and determination. By committing to deliberate, manageable, and consistent actions, confidence grows steadily, becomes durable, and forms the foundation of an unbreakable positive mental attitude. Chapter 8. Learn from failures daily and adjust your approach. Failure is an inevitable part of life, and the way it is approached determines whether it becomes a source of growth or a trap that undermines confidence and motivation. Learning from failures daily requires honesty, reflection, and a willingness to adjust strategies without becoming discouraged. Each failure provides information about what works, what doesn't, and how approaches can be refined. By treating mistakes as lessons rather than endpoints, the mind becomes resilient, adaptable, and capable of continuous improvement. Daily attention to learning ensures that failure is never wasted and becomes an integral part of building a strong and unbreakable positive mental attitude. The first step in learning from failure is acknowledgement. Avoiding or denying mistakes delays growth and reinforces avoidance patterns. Recognize when an outcome did not meet expectations and accept responsibility for your role in the process. This honest assessment creates the foundation for meaningful reflection and provides clarity on what factors contributed to the result. Acceptance removes emotional resistance and allows the mind to analyze the situation objectively. Reflection follows acknowledgement. Examine what went wrong without judgment or self-criticism. Identify specific decisions, actions, or conditions that led to the undesired outcome. Ask questions such as what could have been done differently, what information was missing, and what patterns contributed to the result. Structured reflection transforms raw failure into actionable insight and ensures that mistakes become stepping stones rather than obstacles. Identifying patterns is essential. Daily failures often reveal recurring themes, weaknesses, or blind spots that require attention. Recognizing these patterns allows the mind to target improvement systematically. For example, repeated issues in time management, communication, or planning indicate areas for skill development. Understanding patterns helps to refine strategies and reduces the likelihood of repeating the same mistakes. Adjusting approach is the practical next step. Apply the insights gained from reflection and pattern recognition to modify methods, strategies, or behaviors. Small, deliberate adjustments create immediate improvements and demonstrate that failure is a tool for learning rather than a permanent setback. Testing new approaches incrementally allows the mind to observe what is effective, fostering confidence and competence over time. Daily learning requires documentation. Writing down failures, reflections, and adjustments creates a tangible record of growth. This documentation serves as a reference for future decision-making, highlights progress, and provides evidence of resilience. Journaling reinforces the habit of analysis and action, ensuring that lessons are internalized and applied consistently. Emotional regulation is critical during failure. Reacting with frustration, self-doubt, or negativity undermines the capacity to learn. Maintain composure by separating emotions from analysis. Treat failure as a neutral event that provides information rather than a reflection of personal worth. This mindset preserves mental clarity and enables constructive evaluation of the situation, strengthening the ability to respond effectively. Perspective enhances learning. View each failure as a temporary and specific event rather than a universal judgment on ability or potential. Contextualizing failure allows the mind to remain solution-focused and reduces the risk of discouragement. Understanding that setbacks are part of the natural process of growth encourages perseverance and reinforces the principle that improvement is continuous and achievable. Consistency matters in learning from failure. Each day presents opportunities to encounter challenges, make mistakes, and refine approaches. Engaging in reflection and adjustment daily ensures that lessons accumulate over time, strengthening problem-solving skills, adaptability, and self-confidence. Incremental learning produces compounding results that create a resilient, capable, and flexible mindset. Taking responsibility fosters empowerment. Viewing failure as an opportunity for growth rather than blame shifts control back to the individual. Accepting accountability clarifies what is within personal control and identifies areas where proactive change can produce tangible improvement. This mindset strengthens self-trust, reinforces discipline, and encourages consistent effort in refining strategies. Experimentation is part of the process. Trying new approaches after a failure requires courage and willingness to risk additional mistakes. Treat each attempt as data collection, noting what succeeds and what requires further adjustment. This iterative process builds competence and confidence, demonstrating that setbacks are temporary and solvable when approached systematically. Resilience is cultivated through repeated application. Learning from failure daily trains the mind to recover quickly, adapt strategies, and maintain focus despite obstacles. Each recovery strengthens mental endurance, enhances problem-solving skills, and reduces fear of future failure. Over time, the brain internalizes the principle that challenges are manageable and that consistent adjustment produces progress. Planning prevents repeat errors. Once adjustments are identified, incorporate them into strategies for future challenges. Anticipate potential obstacles and outline specific steps to avoid previous mistakes. Planning strengthens foresight, reduces uncertainty, and ensures that lessons from failure are actively applied rather than forgotten. Problem-solving skills are sharpened through daily analysis. Each failure requires evaluation, reasoning, and adaptation. Engaging in this process repeatedly enhances critical thinking, decision-making, and creativity. The mind becomes adept at identifying alternative paths, assessing risks, and implementing solutions efficiently. These skills compound over time, reinforcing confidence and reinforcing a constructive mental framework. Self-compassion supports sustainable growth. Learning from failure is demanding, and excessive self-criticism can hinder progress. Treat each setback as part of a broader journey, rather than an indictment of ability. Practicing kindness toward oneself maintains motivation, reduces stress, and fosters an environment where learning is embraced without fear or resistance. Incremental improvement is key. Not every adjustment yields immediate success, and progress may be gradual. Patience combined with consistent effort ensures that learning from failure produces meaningful results over time. Each small improvement builds on previous experience, creating a cumulative effect that strengthens skill, confidence, and resilience. Ultimately, learning from failures daily cultivates a mindset of growth, adaptability, and resilience. Each reflection, adjustment, and application reinforces the principle that setbacks are opportunities rather than obstacles. The accumulation of small, deliberate lessons strengthens confidence, sharpens focus, and produces a mental attitude capable of navigating challenges with clarity, composure, and determination. Chapter 9. Protect your energy by avoiding toxic environments daily. Protecting your energy is one of the most important practices for maintaining a strong mental attitude and sustaining long-term focus. Energy is finite, and how it is spent determines the quality of your actions, decisions, and mindset. Toxic environments drain mental and emotional resources, erode resilience, and limit the ability to maintain positivity. Avoiding these environments is not avoidance of responsibility, but a conscious decision to preserve clarity, discipline, and personal well-being. By protecting your energy daily, you create the conditions necessary to act with intention, maintain motivation, and cultivate an unbreakable positive mental attitude. The first step is awareness of what constitutes a toxic environment. Toxicity can manifest in many forms, including negative people, chaotic settings, stressful workplaces, or media consumption that provokes anxiety or fear. It may appear subtly through consistent complaints, criticism, manipulation, or pressure that undermines confidence. Recognizing these patterns requires observing how you feel during and after interactions. Feelings of fatigue, irritation, or self-doubt often indicate energy depletion. Awareness creates the opportunity to make deliberate choices about the environments you engage with. Setting boundaries is essential. Boundaries protect your focus, mood, and mental clarity. This may involve limiting exposure to individuals who are consistently negative, asserting your needs in relationships, or avoiding spaces that provoke stress or distraction. Boundaries are not a rejection of others, but a statement of self-respect and prioritization of well-being. Clear limits ensure that energy is allocated to constructive, supportive environments where growth and positivity are reinforced. Intentional engagement is necessary. Actively choose environments that elevate energy rather than deplete it. Surround yourself with individuals who are supportive, focused, and solution-oriented. Seek spaces that encourage creativity, learning, and constructive dialogue. Intentional engagement allows the mind to recharge, strengthens focus, and amplifies motivation. The quality of your surroundings directly influences your capacity for resilience and proactive action. Daily routines can reinforce energy protection. Structuring the day to minimize exposure to draining situations preserves focus and productivity. For example, scheduling work in calm, organized spaces, limiting time on social media or news feeds, and planning interactions with supportive individuals ensures consistent energy management. Routine practices create predictability, reduce stress, and maximize mental and emotional resources for meaningful work and personal growth. Mindful attention enhances protection. Observe how specific interactions or environments affect your mood, concentration, and motivation. Noticing subtle cues such as tension, irritation, or distraction allows for timely adjustment. Mindfulness provides insight into which environments are beneficial and which are harmful. This self-awareness strengthens the ability to respond deliberately rather than react impulsively to draining situations. Physical spaces matter. Environments cluttered with disorganization, noise, or chaos can drain energy and reduce focus. Maintaining clean, organized, and calm spaces supports clarity of thought and productivity. Small changes such as decluttering a workspace, improving lighting, or creating quiet zones enhance mental stamina and reduce stress. The physical environment is an extension of mental discipline and directly impacts energy levels. Information intake should be managed carefully. Constant exposure to negative news, sensationalized media, or fear-driven narratives depletes energy and fosters anxiety. Prioritize consuming information that educates, inspires, or provides practical value. Filtering inputs allows the mind to focus on actionable knowledge and maintain a positive orientation. Energy devoted to constructive content enhances capacity for problem-solving, creativity, and resilience. Emotional hygiene is part of energy protection. Release lingering negative emotions promptly rather than allowing them to accumulate. Practices such as journaling, reflection, or brief periods of solitude help process experiences and maintain emotional balance. Emotional clarity ensures that energy is available for deliberate action, problem-solving, and maintaining a positive mental attitude. Social circles should be cultivated intentionally. Surrounding yourself with individuals who uplift, encourage, and challenge you constructively strengthens resilience and focus. Distance yourself from relationships that consistently provoke stress, manipulation, or negativity. Positive social support reinforces accountability, motivation, and mental clarity. Your closest relationships directly influence the sustainability of energy and the consistency of positive thinking. Time management supports energy protection. Prioritize tasks, set limits on unproductive engagements, and allocate resources to high-value activities. Avoid overcommitment to obligations that drain attention or induce frustration. Efficient allocation of time preserves mental clarity and prevents exhaustion, ensuring that energy is spent on actions that contribute meaningfully to growth and accomplishment. Internal dialogue shapes perception of environments. Negative self-talk amplifies the draining effects of toxic situations. Cultivate constructive, affirming thoughts to maintain focus and resilience despite minor stresses. Positive mental framing allows the mind to navigate challenges without unnecessary depletion of energy. Internal regulation complements external boundary setting and maximizes overall stamina. Technology management is critical. Notifications, constant emails, and digital distractions fragment attention and exhaust focus. Implement strategies such as scheduled check-ins, focus periods, and digital decluttering to preserve cognitive resources. Intentional use of technology ensures that energy is directed toward productive, purposeful action rather than scattered or reactive behavior. Adaptability strengthens protection. Some environments cannot be fully controlled. In these cases, mental strategies such as focusing on controllable aspects, setting internal boundaries, and maintaining composure preserve energy. Self-care underpins all energy protection strategies. Adequate sleep, proper nutrition, exercise, and relaxation are fundamental to maintaining mental and physical resources. When energy reserves are replenished consistently, the mind is better equipped to resist the draining effects of toxicity and sustain focus, motivation, and positivity. Energy management is as much about replenishment as it is about avoidance. Reflection consolidates lessons. Regularly evaluate which environments enhanced or drained energy and adjust engagement strategies accordingly. Reflection reinforces intentionality, strengthens awareness of personal needs, and ensures that daily choices align with long-term mental and emotional health. Continual assessment allows for refinement and optimization of energy preservation practices. Accountability reinforces consistent energy protection. Sharing intentions to avoid toxic environments with trusted individuals creates external support for adherence. Feedback and encouragement from others increase the likelihood of maintaining boundaries and making deliberate choices about engagement. Accountability strengthens discipline, reinforces positive habits, and amplifies long-term resilience. Positive reinforcement encourages maintenance. Recognize the benefits of avoiding toxic environments, such as improved focus, greater motivation, and emotional stability. Celebrating these outcomes reinforces the value of energy protection and strengthens commitment to ongoing practice. Awareness of results ensures that the habit becomes automatic and sustainable. Empowerment emerges from deliberate choice, deciding which environments to engage with and which to avoid places control firmly in your hands. This sense of agency strengthens confidence, reinforces mental clarity, and cultivates a proactive approach to challenges. Energy protection is a strategic practice that ensures personal growth is supported rather than undermined. Over time, consistent protection of energy creates compounding benefits. The mind becomes attuned to constructive environments, motivation increases, and resilience strengthens. Each day of intentional engagement, boundary setting, and mindfulness reinforces the ability to navigate challenges without unnecessary depletion. Energy becomes a resource directed toward purposeful action, learning, and growth, rather than being consumed by negativity, distraction, or conflict. Ultimately, protecting energy by avoiding toxic environments daily is a foundational practice for developing a strong and unbreakable positive mental attitude. Each conscious choice to preserve focus, maintain composure, and prioritize constructive surroundings strengthens the mind, enhances motivation, and cultivates resilience. This disciplined approach ensures that mental and emotional resources are always available for meaningful action, continuous improvement, and sustained personal growth in every area of life. Chapter 10. Strengthen discipline by keeping promises you make to yourself. Discipline is the foundation of consistent achievement and the cornerstone of a strong mental attitude. One of the most effective ways to strengthen discipline is by keeping the promises you make to yourself. These promises are agreements between your present self and your future self, and honoring them builds trust, reliability, and personal integrity. When you follow through on commitments you make to yourself, no matter how small, the mind internalizes a sense of control, competence, and self-respect. Each completed promise reinforces the habit of deliberate action, strengthens willpower, and lays the groundwork for long-term resilience and growth. The first step is clarity. Define specific, achievable promises that align with your goals and values. Ambiguity undermines commitment because the mind lacks a clear target. For instance, rather than vaguely promising to exercise more, commit to a defined action like walking 15 minutes every morning. Clarity transforms intention into actionable steps, allowing progress to be measured and reinforcing the sense of accomplishment that fuels discipline. Start small to build momentum. Promises should be realistic and manageable to prevent discouragement. Beginning with small commitments ensures that success is achievable and creates positive reinforcement. Each fulfilled promise strengthens self-trust and conditions the mind to take consistent action. Gradually increase the scope and difficulty of promises as confidence and capacity grow, maintaining momentum and sustaining motivation. Consistency is critical. Daily adherence to commitments, no matter how minor, compounds over time and solidifies discipline. Repetition trains the brain to expect follow-through and develops reliability as a core habit. The more consistently you honor your promises, the less mental resistance arises, and the easier it becomes to maintain self-directed action across all areas of life. Accountability enhances effectiveness. Track your promises and monitor progress to maintain focus and commitment. Journaling or using a simple checklist creates visible evidence of completion and reinforces a sense of responsibility. Reviewing progress regularly highlights achievements, identifies areas for improvement, and encourages perseverance even when motivation fluctuates. Emotional regulation supports follow-through. Often, breaking promises is the result of temporary feelings such as fatigue, frustration, or boredom. Cultivating awareness of these emotions and responding with deliberate action rather than impulse strengthens self-control. Discipline is built when the mind chooses action over reaction, demonstrating the ability to prioritize long-term objectives over fleeting comfort. Align promises with meaningful purpose. Commitments that connect to your values or long-term goals create intrinsic motivation. When the mind perceives that fulfilling a promise contributes to personal growth, achievement, or well-being, adherence becomes natural and rewarding. Purposeful promises reinforce the alignment of action with intention, creating a virtuous cycle of motivation and discipline. Reflect on completed promises to reinforce learning. Each time a commitment is honored, analyze the factors that contributed to success. Identify strategies, habits, or conditions that facilitated follow-through and replicate them in future promises. Reflection transforms routine action into deliberate growth, ensuring that each promise strengthens mental resilience and personal capability. Handle setbacks constructively. Failing to keep a promise does not signify personal weakness, but presents an opportunity for adjustment and learning. Analyze what led to the lapse, make necessary corrections, and recommit with renewed focus. The ability to recover strengthens resilience, prevents discouragement, and ensures that discipline continues to develop despite occasional challenges. Prioritize self-respect. Keeping promises cultivates a profound sense of integrity and self-trust. The mind begins to recognize that commitments are honored and that personal goals are achievable. This internal reliability becomes a foundation for confidence, motivation, and consistent effort, reinforcing a mindset capable of sustaining long-term success. Establish external triggers to support action. Linking promises to routines, environmental cues, or reminders reduces reliance on willpower alone. Simple strategies, such as scheduling tasks at the same time daily, placing visual prompts in visible locations, or pairing commitments with existing habits, ensure consistent follow-through. These triggers create structure, reinforce accountability, and minimize resistance to action. Incremental progress strengthens confidence. Promises, completed consistently, even in small measures, accumulate into tangible growth over time. Observing this progress reinforces the mind's belief in capability and reliability. Confidence gained from honoring commitments creates a positive feedback loop, making it easier to take on larger challenges with focus and determination. Avoid overcommitment to maintain focus. Making too many promises at once dilutes energy and attention, increasing the likelihood of lapses. Prioritize essential commitments that have the greatest impact on growth and well-being. Focused effort ensures that each promise is honored fully, reinforcing discipline and building momentum without unnecessary strain. Account for obstacles in advance. Anticipating challenges and planning strategies to overcome them ensures that promises are more likely to be kept. Preparing solutions for potential interruptions, distractions, or setbacks minimizes disruption and reinforces commitment. The mind gains confidence from proactive problem solving and becomes more resilient in maintaining consistency. Celebrate completion to reinforce habit formation. Recognizing each promise fulfilled strengthens the association between effort and reward. Celebrations need not be extravagant. A moment of acknowledgement or reflection is sufficient to reinforce the behavior. Positive reinforcement encourages repetition, increases motivation, and embeds discipline as a consistent pattern in daily life. Use visualization to enhance follow-through. Mentally rehearsing the completion of promises creates clarity, focus, and expectation of success. Visualization prepares the mind for action, reduces hesitation, and strengthens the neural pathways associated with reliable behavior. Combining mental rehearsal with physical execution accelerates the development of discipline and self-trust. Integration with long-term goals amplifies impact. Each promise, no matter how small, should contribute to broader objectives. Connecting daily commitments with larger aspirations creates coherence, purpose, and motivation. The cumulative effect of consistent action produces substantial progress and reinforces the habit of disciplined, self-directed behavior. Self-compassion maintains sustainability. Maintaining discipline requires consistent effort, and occasional lapses are natural. Treating failures with understanding rather than harsh criticism prevents discouragement and encourages renewed commitment. Compassion fosters resilience, sustaining momentum, while reinforcing the importance of persistence and intentional action. Accountability partnerships strengthen commitment. Sharing your promises with trusted individuals encourages consistency and provides support when motivation wanes. Partners can offer reminders, feedback, and encouragement, amplifying the effectiveness of self-directed discipline. Collaboration reinforces focus, promotes responsibility and supports continuous growth. Long-term discipline emerges from repetition. Daily adherence to promises gradually strengthens willpower, reliability, and mental endurance. Over time, the habit of honoring commitments becomes automatic, reducing the need for external motivation. This internalized discipline supports consistent action, enabling the pursuit of complex goals, mastery of skills, and development of a resilient and positive mental attitude. Ultimately, keeping the promises you make to yourself cultivates a sense of trust, integrity, and self-mastery. Each commitment honored reinforces the mind's ability to act with intention, sustain effort, and navigate challenges with confidence. Daily practice of honoring personal agreements strengthens discipline, builds resilience, and provides a foundation for continuous growth. By consistently following through on commitments to oneself, the mind becomes capable of maintaining an unbreakable positive mental attitude, achieving long-term success, and facing life with clarity, focus, and unwavering resolve. Starting each morning with clear intentions is one of the most effective ways to set the tone for the entire day. Intentions act as a compass, guiding thoughts, decisions, and actions toward purpose and productivity. The first step is to cultivate awareness upon waking. Instead of allowing the mind to drift immediately into reactive thoughts, consciously recognize the start of a new day as an opportunity for purposeful action. Pausing for a moment to center attention on what you want to achieve sets a foundation for intentional behavior. Awareness shifts the mind from autopilot to active engagement, creating a mental space where priorities can be clearly identified and pursued. Define specific intentions for the day. Intentions should be concise, actionable, and aligned with long-term goals or personal values. For example, committing to focus fully on work tasks, nurture relationships with patients, or practice self-discipline in health routines provides clear direction. Concrete intentions reduce mental clutter and eliminate ambiguity about how to engage with the day, making actions more deliberate and meaningful. Link intentions to purpose. Each chosen focus should resonate with deeper aspirations or principles. When intentions are connected to meaningful objectives, motivation naturally increases and the mind remains engaged even in the face of challenges. Understanding why an action matters transforms routine effort into conscious growth, reinforcing self-respect and resilience. Purposeful alignment ensures that daily activity contributes to long-term development rather than fragmented effort. Visualization strengthens the power of intentions. Spend a few moments mentally rehearsing how the day will unfold with clarity, focus, and productivity. Picture successfully executing tasks, handling interactions with composure, and responding effectively to challenges. Visualization primes the brain to recognize opportunities, anticipate obstacles, and maintain composure, increasing the likelihood that intentions translate into real-world results. Affirm intentions aloud or mentally. Stating objectives reinforces commitment and solidifies focus. Affirmation engages both conscious and subconscious awareness, creating alignment between thought and action. This simple practice signals to the mind that priorities are intentional and non-negotiable, strengthening resolve and readiness to act in accordance with stated objectives. Establish a morning ritual to anchor intentions. Rituals such as brief meditation, stretching, journaling, or focused breathing provide structure and enhance mental clarity. Repeating these practices daily signals to the brain that this is a dedicated period for preparation, reflection, and purposeful planning. Rituals reinforce consistency, reduce cognitive resistance, and create a strong psychological framework for intentional action. Prioritize actions based on intention. Once objectives are defined, Identify the most important tasks that align with those goals. Focus attention and energy on high-priority activities rather than reacting to distractions or urgent but low-value demands. Prioritization ensures that the morning sets a productive trajectory for the entire day and that energy is applied strategically rather than dissipated. Maintain adaptability while staying grounded in intention. The day may present unforeseen circumstances, but clearly defined intentions provide a reference point for decision-making. When unexpected challenges arise, return to your stated objectives to guide responses. Intentions serve as a compass, helping maintain focus and consistency despite changing conditions, reinforcing resilience and mental clarity. Reflect briefly on previous days to inform intention setting. Observing what worked well and what could be improved allows for the refinement of objectives. This reflective practice enhances self-awareness and ensures that intentions are relevant, realistic, and aligned with personal growth. Adjusting intentions based on lessons learned fosters continuous improvement and strengthens the habit of purposeful action. Emotional calibration supports effective intention setting. Starting the day with a calm, focused, and positive mindset allows intentions to be integrated more fully. Integrate intentions into physical actions. Align movements, gestures, and behaviors with stated objectives to reinforce mental focus. Simple acts such as preparing a healthy breakfast, organizing workspace, or beginning priority tasks immediately translate intention into tangible outcomes. Synchronizing mental focus with physical activity strengthens neural pathways associated with discipline, attention, and purposeful effort. Accountability enhances adherence to intentions. Share daily objectives with a trusted individual or track progress through a journal or checklist. External reinforcement motivates follow-through and provides additional clarity on commitment. Accountability strengthens resolve and increases the likelihood that intentions will influence real behavior throughout the day. Maintain mindfulness throughout the day. Regularly revisit intentions during transitions between tasks, interactions, or breaks. This repeated mental check keeps focus aligned with initial objectives and prevents drift into distraction or unproductive activity. Mindfulness reinforces the habit of intentionality, ensuring that the morning's focus extends beyond the initial hours and shapes the entire day. Celebrate small achievements related to intentions. Recognizing progress, no matter how minor, reinforces motivation and creates positive feedback loops. Acknowledgement of successful alignment between thought and action strengthens belief in the efficacy of intentional practice and encourages continued effort. Celebration also sustains energy and positivity throughout the day, supporting the development of a strong mental attitude. Avoid multitasking that dilutes focus. Direct energy toward one intentional task at a time to maximize effectiveness and reduce cognitive strain. Single tasking allows deeper engagement, higher quality outcomes, and reinforcement of discipline. Focused action ensures that intentions are fully realized and that the mind remains clear, motivated, and in control. Review and adjust intentions at the end of the day. Assess which objectives were met, identify barriers, and refine practices for the following morning. This continuous feedback loop strengthens the ability to set realistic, actionable, and inspiring intentions each day. Daily assessment fosters accountability, reinforces learning, and ensures that progress compounds over time. Commit to intention as a daily practice. The cumulative effect of starting each day with clear, inspiring objectives builds mental resilience, focus, and consistency. Over weeks and months, the mind internalizes the habit of deliberate planning, resulting in greater confidence, clarity, and effectiveness in all areas of life. Intentional mornings create a strong foundation for continuous growth and personal mastery. Ultimately, beginning each day with intentions that inspire action transforms ordinary routines into deliberate steps toward improvement and achievement. Intentions focus energy, guide decisions, and cultivate resilience in the face of challenges. Daily practice reinforces mental clarity, strengthens discipline, and nurtures a positive mental attitude that carries through every action and interaction. By making intentionality a core part of the morning, the mind is prepared to navigate the day with purpose, energy, and unwavering focus, ensuring sustained growth and long-term personal success. The first step is acknowledging that personal growth is a process. Understand that every skill, habit, or goal develops incrementally. Accepting that progress takes time reduces the pressure to achieve immediate results and encourages a more measured approach. When the mind recognizes that change occurs gradually, it becomes more resilient to setbacks and better able to maintain motivation through incremental progress. Focus on small, consistent improvements rather than immediate transformation. Each day provides opportunities to take deliberate action, learn lessons, and refine habits. Incremental gains accumulate over time, creating meaningful change without overwhelming the mind. By appreciating the small steps and their compounding effect, patience naturally grows, and the journey of self-improvement becomes manageable and sustainable. Set realistic expectations aligned with your current capabilities. Overestimating what can be accomplished in a short period creates unnecessary stress and disappointment. Honest assessment of strengths and limitations allows for measured action, reinforcing confidence and maintaining motivation. Patience thrives when goals are attainable and progress is visible, encouraging consistent effort over time. Practice mindfulness to remain grounded in the present moment. Impatience often arises from fixation on the future or frustration over what has not yet been achieved. Mindful attention to current actions, thoughts, and sensations strengthens focus and reduces anxiety. This practice allows the mind to engage fully with the steps necessary for growth, cultivating calm perseverance. Reframe challenges as opportunities for learning. Difficulties that slow progress are not obstacles to success, but moments to build resilience, skill, and understanding. By viewing setbacks as valuable feedback rather than failures, the mind cultivates patience naturally. Each challenge becomes a step in the learning process, reinforcing the principle that meaningful growth requires time and experience. Celebrate progress at every stage, no matter how small. Acknowledging completed tasks, improved behaviors, or incremental knowledge reinforces motivation and strengthens patience. Positive reinforcement reminds the mind that consistent effort produces results, even if progress is slower than desired. Recognizing these achievements ensures that patience remains rewarding rather than frustrating. Establish routines that support steady advancement. Daily practices, structured schedules, and consistent habits reinforce gradual growth. Routines reduce reliance on fluctuating motivation and create a framework for progress that respects the natural pace of development. By embedding patience within structured habits, the mind becomes accustomed to steady, deliberate effort. Avoid comparison with others. Impatience often arises when progress is measured against someone else's achievements. Focus on personal growth at your own pace, recognizing that each individual's journey is unique. Measuring success relative to your own standards fosters contentment, maintains motivation, and strengthens the commitment to consistent effort. Visualize long-term growth rather than immediate results. Picture where consistent effort over time will lead, emphasizing the cumulative effect of daily action. Visualization reinforces the understanding that patience and persistence yield substantial outcomes. Seeing the potential rewards of steady progress motivates the mind to remain disciplined and maintain composure through incremental steps. Develop strategies for self-soothing when impatience arises. Breathing exercises, brief pauses, or reflection can calm agitation and restore perspective. Responding deliberately to frustration rather than reacting impulsively strengthens emotional control and reinforces patience as a conscious practice. Managing internal states effectively ensures that energy is focused on growth rather than being depleted by negative reactions. Track progress to reinforce patience. Recording improvements, milestones, and lessons learned provides tangible evidence of advancement over time. Reviewing this record demonstrates that small, consistent actions accumulate into meaningful change, reinforcing the value of a measured approach. Documentation also serves as motivation during moments when progress feels slow or imperceptible. Embrace flexibility in methods, while remaining committed to outcomes. Adjust strategies when necessary, but do not abandon goals due to temporary setbacks. Patience is strengthened when the mind recognizes that progress may require adaptation, experimentation, and persistence without abandoning the ultimate objective. Flexibility combined with persistence cultivates resilience and reinforces disciplined growth. Practice gratitude for incremental improvement. Acknowledging what has been achieved, no matter how minor, cultivates satisfaction and reduces anxiety about unmet expectations. Gratitude creates a positive feedback loop, encouraging further effort and reinforcing the understanding that growth is a journey rather than an instant result. Appreciating progress supports mental clarity, calm focus, and sustained motivation. Balance effort with rest to maintain consistency. Overexertion can lead to frustration, fatigue, and reduced patience. Scheduling recovery periods, breaks, and self-care ensures that energy remains available for deliberate practice. Recognizing that growth requires sustainable effort rather than constant intensity allows the mind to remain composed and committed over the long term. Seek guidance and mentorship when necessary. Learning from others who have cultivated patience and sustained growth can provide insight, encouragement, and practical strategies. Observing their approach highlights the importance of consistency, resilience, and measured action. Mentorship reinforces that growth takes time and provides models for integrating patience into daily practice. Use setbacks as opportunities to refine perspective. When progress slows or obstacles arise, analyze the situation calmly, identify lessons, and adjust plans. Approaching setbacks with curiosity rather than frustration strengthens patience and develops problem-solving skills. Each obstacle becomes a practical exercise in deliberate, measured action rather than a source of discouragement. Anchor progress in values and long-term objectives. Patience is easier to maintain when daily actions align with deeply held beliefs and meaningful goals. Connecting effort to purpose transforms the perception of waiting or slow advancement into deliberate, value-driven action. This alignment ensures that discipline and persistence are reinforced naturally through meaningful engagement. Maintain perspective by considering growth as a lifelong process. Understand that mastery, resilience, and skill development evolve over years, not days. Embracing the gradual nature of growth relieves pressure, strengthens perseverance, and allows the mind to appreciate each stage of progress. Viewing development as continuous fosters patience, sustains motivation, and creates a mindset capable of long-term achievement. Ultimately, building patience daily by embracing growth at your own pace transforms the way you approach challenges, learning, and personal development. It fosters resilience, enhances focus, and ensures that progress is sustainable, meaningful, and internally rewarding. Daily practice strengthens the ability to remain composed, deliberate and committed, despite delays or obstacles. By allowing growth to unfold naturally while maintaining consistent effort, the mind develops an unshakable positive mental attitude, capable of navigating any situation with clarity, confidence, and enduring perseverance. Chapter 13. Choose optimism daily, even in uncertain and difficult moments. Choosing optimism daily is a deliberate practice that strengthens mental resilience and shapes a positive outlook on life. Optimism is not about ignoring difficulties or pretending challenges do not exist. It is a conscious decision to focus on possibilities, solutions, and constructive perspectives, even when circumstances are uncertain. Daily optimism empowers the mind to navigate adversity with clarity, maintain motivation, and respond to setbacks with creativity and determination. By intentionally adopting an optimistic mindset, the mind becomes conditioned to see opportunity in challenges and growth in discomfort, creating a foundation for consistent progress and lasting personal development. The first step is to recognize the power of choice. Each day presents situations that could be interpreted in multiple ways. The mind can focus on obstacles, problems, and limitations, or it can focus on opportunities, solutions, and potential. Choosing optimism requires acknowledging that perspective is under your control and that your response shapes the impact of events on your mental state. Awareness of this choice provides the foundation for deliberate action and strengthens self-mastery. Shift attention toward constructive thoughts. Optimism begins with what the mind focuses on. Instead of ruminating on what could go wrong, direct attention to what can be achieved, learned, or improved. This does not deny reality but reframes it in a way that empowers action and cultivates hope. Daily practice of redirecting attention trains the brain to default toward productive and positive perspectives rather than reactive or defeatist ones. Use language intentionally to reinforce optimism. Words shape internal dialogue and influence emotional state. Replacing self-doubt, complaints, or negative statements with affirming and constructive language strengthens the mind's capacity to maintain a positive outlook. Consistently using optimistic language builds internal reinforcement and fosters confidence in the ability to manage uncertainty effectively. Anticipate challenges with a solution-oriented mindset. Optimism does not ignore difficulty, but prepares the mind to respond strategically. By expecting obstacles and planning constructive responses, uncertainty becomes manageable rather than intimidating. Anticipatory thinking reinforces resilience, maintains focus, and allows optimism to guide behavior rather than being dependent on external circumstances. Practice gratitude as a daily companion to optimism. Recognizing what is already positive or functional in your life creates a mental baseline of hope and satisfaction. Gratitude reduces the tendency to dwell on negative aspects and strengthens the habit of focusing on possibilities. Combining optimism with appreciation ensures that the mind remains balanced, motivated, and grounded even when facing challenges. Visualize positive outcomes to reinforce belief in possibility. Imagining success, constructive solutions, and desired results primes the mind for action and strengthens confidence. Visualization enhances problem solving, encourages creative strategies, and sustains motivation when immediate results are not apparent. Daily mental rehearsal of positive scenarios aligns thinking, behavior, and intention toward constructive action. Maintain perspective during difficult moments. Optimism is strengthened by understanding that challenges are temporary, situational, and often surmountable with deliberate effort. Separating immediate discomfort from long-term outcomes prevents discouragement and supports consistent focus. Perspective allows the mind to endure hardship with composure, retain motivation, and continue working toward meaningful objectives. Surround yourself with uplifting influences. The environment and social interactions impact mindset significantly. Engaging with people who demonstrate resilience, positivity, and constructive thinking reinforces optimistic habits. Reflect on past successes to reinforce optimism. Remembering challenges that were overcome, skills that were developed, and lessons that were learned provides evidence that adversity can be managed successfully. Past experiences of navigating difficulty build confidence and encourage belief in the ability to respond positively to new challenges. Reflection strengthens the mind's expectation of constructive outcomes. Break problems into manageable steps. Large challenges often induce anxiety or pessimism. Focusing on incremental progress reduces overwhelm and creates a sense of agency. Completing actionable steps fosters momentum and reinforces the belief that progress is achievable, regardless of the magnitude of difficulty. Optimism grows when action aligns with capacity, producing visible results over time. Practice self-compassion during uncertainty. Difficult situations often generate self-criticism or doubt. Treating yourself with patience and understanding reduces stress, preserves mental clarity, and supports constructive thinking. Optimism is reinforced when the mind is nurtured rather than undermined by harsh judgments or negative self-talk. Emotional balance strengthens resilience and the ability to maintain focus on solutions rather than problems. Establish rituals that reinforce positive mindset. Morning reflections, journaling, or affirmations create a consistent framework for initiating optimism at the start of each day. Rituals reinforce the habit of beginning daily activities with constructive focus and provide a mental anchor to return to during moments of uncertainty or stress. Consistency strengthens long-term mindset resilience. Monitor internal dialogue and interrupt negativity. Catching pessimistic thoughts early prevents them from influencing decisions, mood, or actions. Replace reactive or defeatist thinking with constructive questions, such as, "What can I do now to improve this situation?" or "What opportunity exists here?" This active mental management strengthens optimism as a habitual response rather than an occasional choice. Actively seek lessons and opportunities in difficulty. Optimism is strengthened when challenges are reframed as opportunities to learn, grow, or develop skill. Shifting focus from what is wrong to what can be gained empowers deliberate action, reduces fear, and fosters resilience. Engage in daily reflection to reinforce progress. At the end of each day, evaluate where optimism influenced outcomes, identify situations where perspective shifted behavior positively, and plan strategies to strengthen focus in the future. Reflection consolidates learning, reinforces mental habits, and ensures consistent growth in the ability to maintain optimism under uncertainty. Maintain physical and mental well-being to support optimism. Adequate rest, exercise, nutrition, and stress management preserve cognitive resources and emotional balance. A healthy mind and body are more capable of sustaining positive thinking, problem-solving, and composure during difficult periods. Optimism is reinforced when energy levels and clarity are preserved consistently. Practice generosity and service toward others. Helping others, offering encouragement, or contributing constructively fosters positive emotions, reinforces meaningful engagement, and strengthens belief in possibilities. Optimism flourishes when the mind experiences success and impact beyond personal concerns, reinforcing confidence in positive outcomes. Commit to optimism as a daily discipline. Repeated practice ensures that a positive outlook becomes automatic rather than conditional on circumstances. Daily reinforcement, reflection, and active choice embed optimism as a foundational mental habit, enhancing resilience, decision-making, and overall life satisfaction. Ultimately, choosing optimism daily, even in uncertain and difficult moments, strengthens mental resilience, focus, and emotional stability. Each deliberate choice to maintain a constructive perspective empowers the mind to navigate challenges, sustain motivation, and act with clarity and intention. By consistently embracing optimism as a practice, the mind develops an unbreakable positive mental attitude capable of facing adversity with confidence, creativity, and unwavering determination while continuously progressing toward meaningful personal growth. Chapter 14. Train your mind daily to see opportunities in challenges. Training the mind to see opportunities in challenges is a practice that transforms obstacles into catalysts for growth and advancement. Challenges are an inevitable part of life, but the perspective we bring to them determines whether they become stumbling blocks or stepping stones. By intentionally cultivating the habit of looking for possibilities in difficult situations, the mind develops resilience, adaptability, and creativity. This daily practice strengthens problem-solving skills, enhances confidence, and fosters a positive mental attitude that enables consistent progress even in the face of adversity. The first step is awareness. Recognizing when a situation is challenging or uncomfortable allows the mind to pause and assess rather than react impulsively. Awareness creates space for deliberate thinking, which is necessary for identifying opportunities within difficulty. By observing the circumstances calmly and objectively, the mind can shift from focusing solely on obstacles to evaluating potential solutions and benefits. Adopt a mindset that views challenges as natural components of growth. Rather than resisting or resenting difficulties, understand that they provide insight, learning, and experience. Challenges expose areas for development and reveal strengths that might otherwise remain dormant. Embracing this perspective transforms problems into practical exercises in personal development, building confidence and mental endurance over time. Break down the challenge into manageable components. Large or complex problems often feel overwhelming, which can cloud judgment and limit creative thinking. Dividing a challenge into smaller, actionable parts makes it easier to approach, analyze, and address. Each step completed generates a sense of accomplishment, reinforcing the habit of viewing challenges as opportunities rather than threats. Practice proactive questioning. Ask yourself constructive questions, such as, "What can I learn from this situation?" or "How can this challenge help me grow?" These questions guide the mind towards solutions, uncover possibilities, and shift focus from limitations to potential benefits. Deliberate inquiry trains the brain to seek opportunity naturally, rather than reacting passively to difficulty. Develop adaptability. Challenges often require adjusting strategies, approaches, or attitudes. Flexibility allows the mind to respond to changing circumstances with creativity rather than frustration. Viewing obstacles as opportunity encourages exploration of alternative methods and solutions, enhancing both problem-solving capacity and confidence in handling uncertainty. Maintain emotional control. Difficult situations can trigger stress, fear, or frustration, which may obscure opportunities. Daily practice in regulating emotions ensures that the mind remains clear, focused, and capable of strategic thinking. Techniques such as deep breathing, mindful observation, or brief reflection help preserve composure, allowing opportunities to be recognized and pursued effectively. Reflect on past experiences. Consider challenges you have successfully navigated in the past and identify the opportunities that emerged from those situations. Understanding how adversity has previously led to growth reinforces the belief that current difficulties can also yield positive outcomes. This reflection strengthens confidence, perspective, and the ability to recognize potential in every challenge. Focus on what can be controlled. Often, challenges involve factors beyond direct influence. Concentrating energy on aspects that can be managed or influenced generates practical solutions and reinforces a sense of agency. Recognizing controllable elements within a situation allows the mind to act strategically, turning difficulties into actionable opportunities rather than sources of helplessness. Emphasize learning and skill development. Each challenge presents a chance to acquire new knowledge, refine existing abilities, or develop problem-solving techniques. Viewing obstacles as educational experiences fosters curiosity, persistence, and self-improvement. Continuous learning from difficulties builds competence, which enhances confidence and readiness for future challenges. Seek multiple perspectives. Consulting others or considering different angles broadens understanding of the situation and uncovers opportunities that might not be apparent initially. Diverse input can reveal overlooked solutions, innovative strategies, or alternative approaches. Exposure to varied viewpoints strengthens mental flexibility and reinforces the ability to identify potential benefits within complex circumstances. Visualize positive outcomes. Mentally imagining the potential gains or constructive results from a challenge primes the mind for proactive action. Visualization helps the brain anticipate success, plan effective strategies, and remain motivated even when obstacles seem significant. Consistently rehearsing positive resolutions strengthens optimism, problem-solving skills, and the readiness to seize opportunities as they arise. Develop persistence. Challenges often require sustained effort and repeated attempts to overcome. Persistence ensures that opportunities are fully explored and potential benefits realized. Cultivating endurance in the face of difficulty reinforces the mindset that obstacles are temporary and manageable, increasing confidence in the ability to turn challenges into meaningful achievements. Practice gratitude for challenges. Acknowledging the value of obstacles in fostering growth cultivates a constructive perspective. Gratitude transforms frustration into appreciation and encourages the mind to identify benefits rather than dwell on limitations. Recognizing challenges as essential components of learning and personal development reinforces the habit of seeing opportunity in every difficulty. Implement problem-solving routines. Establishing systematic approaches to address challenges increases efficiency and effectiveness. Daily practice of structured analysis, brainstorming solutions, and evaluating potential outcomes strengthens the mind's ability to recognize and act on opportunities. Routine reinforces the expectation that every challenge contains actionable potential and can be approached with confidence and clarity. Celebrate small successes within challenges. Acknowledging incremental progress reinforces the positive impact of deliberate effort and encourages continued engagement. Each small achievement demonstrates that obstacles can be managed, providing motivation to identify further opportunities. Regular recognition of success strengthens resilience and solidifies the habit of constructive focus. Maintain focus on long-term objectives. While immediate difficulties may be distracting, connecting challenges to broader goals helps the mind recognize their potential contribution to growth. Viewing obstacles as part of a larger trajectory reinforces commitment, patience, and resilience. Long-term perspective encourages optimism and a solution-oriented approach in the face of adversity. Cultivate curiosity. Approach challenges with a mindset of exploration and discovery rather than fear or avoidance. Curiosity encourages creative thinking, experimentation, and openness to unexpected opportunities. A curious mind naturally seeks solutions, identifies hidden possibilities, and transforms difficulties into avenues for learning and development. Document lessons and insights. Recording experiences, strategies, and outcomes from challenges ensures that knowledge is retained and applied in future situations. Written reflection reinforces learning, tracks progress, and strengthens the ability to recognize opportunities consistently. Commit to daily practice of opportunity-focused thinking, regularly challenging the mind to see potential benefits in every difficulty strengthens resilience, creativity, and problem-solving capabilities. Repetition develops the habit of approaching life with a constructive perspective, making the recognition of opportunities automatic rather than occasional. Ultimately, training the mind daily to see opportunities in challenges transforms adversity into a source of growth, skill development, and confidence. By consciously cultivating awareness, curiosity, adaptability, and persistence, the mind learns to approach difficulties strategically and constructively. Daily practice reinforces the ability to act deliberately, respond creatively, and maintain a positive mental attitude even in uncertain or difficult circumstances. This skill empowers consistent progress, deepens personal mastery, and creates a mindset capable of transforming challenges into meaningful achievement and lasting success. Chapter 15. Develop resilience by facing discomfort with courage every day. Developing resilience requires confronting discomfort directly rather than avoiding it, and courage is the tool that transforms difficult experiences into growth. Discomfort is an inevitable part of life, whether it comes in the form of emotional challenges, physical strain, or the uncertainty of new situations. Facing these experiences with courage strengthens the mind, expands capacity for endurance, and builds a foundation for consistent personal growth. Resilience is not an innate trait. It is cultivated through deliberate practice, repeated exposure to challenges, and conscious reflection on responses. By actively choosing to engage with discomfort, the mind develops flexibility, problem-solving ability, and a deeper understanding of its own potential. The first step is recognizing discomfort as a signal for opportunity rather than a reason to retreat. Physical tension, emotional unease, or mental strain often indicate areas where growth is possible. Instead of resisting these signals, observe them carefully and identify what lessons or skills can be gained. This mindset transforms resistance into motivation and turns challenging experiences into practical exercises in building resilience. Develop mental preparedness before facing discomfort. Visualization, planning, and rehearsal equip the mind to approach difficult situations with focus and composure. Anticipating obstacles allows for proactive responses rather than reactive fear. Preparing mentally reinforces confidence and reduces the likelihood of avoidance, enabling consistent exposure to challenges in a controlled and productive manner. Start with small, manageable discomforts. Engaging with minor challenges daily creates a foundation of courage that can be applied to larger difficulties over time. Small victories provide feedback and reinforce the mind's ability to remain composed and persistent. Gradual exposure strengthens mental endurance and builds a track record of successful navigation through uncomfortable experiences. Practice conscious breathing and body awareness during challenging moments. Physical sensations of stress or tension often accompany discomfort, and regulating them supports clarity and control. Slow, deliberate breaths calm the nervous system, allowing rational thinking and intentional action to replace impulsive reactions. This connection between body and mind reinforces resilience and enhances the ability to act courageously under pressure. Reframe discomfort as an essential component of growth. Understanding that meaningful progress often requires temporary unease changes the perception of difficulty. Instead of avoidance, discomfort becomes a signal of potential transformation. This perspective encourages proactive engagement and reduces fear, making resilience a natural outcome of repeated practice. Reflect on past experiences of courage. Recall situations where discomfort was confronted successfully and lessons were learned. These reflections provide evidence of capability, build confidence, and reinforce the mind's expectation that challenges can be handled effectively. Remembering prior successes strengthens resolve and encourages continued engagement with difficult situations. Set intentional challenges for yourself regularly. Identify tasks, conversations, or experiences that push beyond current comfort levels and commit to facing them. Deliberate practice in stepping outside familiar boundaries cultivates courage and expands the capacity to tolerate uncertainty, stress, and physical or emotional strain. Each completed challenge reinforces resilience and builds confidence in personal strength. Embrace discomfort as a teacher rather than an adversary. Observing what sensations, thoughts, or emotions arise during difficult situations provides insight into patterns, strengths, and areas for improvement. Learning from these experiences fosters self-awareness and equips the mind to handle similar challenges more effectively in the future. Viewing discomfort as informative encourages curiosity and reduces resistance, enhancing the ability to respond constructively. Develop a mindset of persistent action. Resilience grows when effort continues despite fear, hesitation, or difficulty. Daily commitment to act in alignment with values and goals, even when discomfort is present, reinforces mental strength. Consistency in action over time establishes a habitual response to challenges that prioritizes growth rather than avoidance. Maintain emotional regulation in the face of discomfort. Experiencing stress, frustration, or anxiety is natural, but skillful management prevents these responses from interfering with constructive behavior. Techniques such as mindful reflection, grounding exercises, or structured problem-solving maintain composure and focus. Emotional regulation ensures that courage is expressed through deliberate action rather than reactive impulsivity. Seek learning in moments of failure. Not every encounter with discomfort will result in immediate success. Analyzing outcomes, extracting lessons, and adjusting approaches transforms setbacks into valuable experience. Resilience is strengthened when the mind perceives difficulty as an opportunity for improvement rather than a threat or reason to withdraw. Build physical resilience alongside mental fortitude. Engaging in activities that challenge the body, such as exercise, controlled exposure to fatigue, or skill development, reinforces the connection between physical and mental strength. Physical practice teaches the mind to tolerate strain, persist through effort, and remain focused, complementing the development of mental courage. Use intentional self-talk to reinforce courage. Phrases that acknowledge challenge while affirming capability strengthen determination and focus. Reminding yourself of past successes, available resources, and ability to endure discomfort guides behavior and sustains resilience. Consistent self-talk reinforces the expectation that difficulty can be managed and opportunities can be extracted from uncomfortable situations. Celebrate progress and effort. Acknowledging acts of courage, even when outcomes are imperfect, reinforces the habit of facing discomfort. Recognition of effort sustains motivation, validates experience, and encourages continued engagement with challenges. Celebrating progress emphasizes the value of consistent practice and reinforces the development of resilient behavior. Engage with supportive communities. Observing or interacting with individuals who demonstrate courage in the face of difficulty reinforces personal confidence and provides practical strategies. Exposure to examples of resilience strengthens belief in one's own capacity and encourages adoption of effective approaches to discomfort. Learning from others accelerates growth and reinforces commitment to daily practice. Maintain perspective on the temporary nature of discomfort. Recognizing that unease and challenges are often transient reduces fear and enhances focus on constructive action. Understanding that difficult moments are not permanent allows the mind to act decisively rather than becoming immobilized by stress or anxiety. This perspective strengthens perseverance and reinforces the ability to face adversity repeatedly. Reflect daily on lessons learned from discomfort. Consistent evaluation of experiences reinforces understanding, strengthens decision-making, and highlights progress over time. Reflection ensures that courage and resilience are refined continuously, enhancing preparedness for future challenges. The habit of examining encounters with difficulty solidifies learning and reinforces long-term mental fortitude. Commit to courage as a daily discipline. Deliberate, repeated exposure to manageable discomfort cultivates habitual resilience, transforming fear into actionable focus. Daily practice trains the mind to engage with uncertainty confidently, reinforcing adaptability, composure, and mental strength. Over time, this commitment produces a positive mental attitude capable of navigating any challenge with clarity, persistence, and purpose. Ultimately, developing resilience by facing discomfort with courage every day empowers the mind to transform adversity into growth, skill, and confidence. Courage enables deliberate action despite fear, while daily practice strengthens endurance, adaptability, and problem-solving capacity. Engaging with discomfort consciously builds mental fortitude, reinforces self-awareness, nurtures a consistent positive mental attitude. By embracing difficulty as a necessary component of personal development, the mind evolves into a resilient, capable, and empowered force ready to overcome obstacles and achieve meaningful long-term success. Chapter 16. Practice mindfulness daily to reduce stress and gain clarity. Practicing mindfulness daily is a transformative habit that strengthens mental clarity, reduces stress, and enhances overall well-being. Mindfulness is the conscious act of observing thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment, which creates a sense of presence and control in daily life. By training the mind to remain attentive to the current moment, it becomes easier to manage reactions, make deliberate decisions, and maintain emotional balance. Stress arises from dwelling on past mistakes or worrying about future uncertainties, and mindfulness interrupts these patterns by anchoring attention in the present. Daily mindfulness practice develops resilience, enhances focus, and allows for more intentional engagement with life, fostering a consistent positive mental attitude. The first step in practicing mindfulness is cultivating awareness of breath. The breath is a constant and immediate anchor that connects the mind and body. Observing inhalation and exhalation without attempting to control it grounds attention and provides a reliable starting point for awareness. Focusing on breath helps the mind detach from distracting thoughts and reduces tension by creating a moment of calm, even during stressful situations. Observe thoughts without judgment. The mind produces countless ideas, fears, and reflections throughout the day. Mindfulness involves recognizing these thoughts without labeling them as good or bad. Observing thoughts objectively prevents over-identification with negativity and reduces mental clutter, allowing clarity to emerge naturally. This practice strengthens self-awareness and provides the ability to respond deliberately rather than react impulsively. Pay attention to physical sensations. The body communicates stress, tension, or discomfort long before the mind fully registers it. Noticing physical cues, such as muscle tightness, fatigue, or restlessness, provides early warning signs and an opportunity for intervention. Attentive observation allows adjustments through relaxation techniques, posture changes, or movement, reinforcing the connection between body awareness and mental clarity. Incorporate mindfulness into daily activities. Even simple tasks like walking, eating, or washing dishes become opportunities to cultivate presence. Paying full attention to the sensory experience, how food tastes, how feet feel on the ground, or how water flows over hands, enhances focus and trains the mind to remain present. Integrating mindfulness into routine activities strengthens the habit and reinforces calm attention consistently. Practice non-reactivity in stressful moments. Daily life presents situations that can trigger frustration, anxiety, or anger. Mindfulness develops the ability to pause, observe emotional responses, and choose intentional action rather than immediate reaction. This approach reduces stress, preserves energy, and maintains mental clarity, ensuring that decisions are thoughtful and deliberate even under pressure. Use guided mindfulness exercises to build consistency. Structured techniques such as meditation, body scans, or focused attention exercises provide a framework for training attention. Regular practice enhances concentration, emotional regulation, and the ability to remain centered in challenging situations. Consistency reinforces mindfulness as a daily habit and ensures that benefits are cumulative over time. Acknowledge emotions without suppression. Mindfulness allows recognition of feelings such as fear, sadness, or frustration without attempting to eliminate or avoid them. Observing emotions objectively enables understanding of their source, duration, and impact, allowing for constructive responses. Emotional awareness reduces internal conflict, strengthens resilience, and prevents stress from accumulating unconsciously. Reflect on thoughts and experiences after practice. Reviewing what arose during mindfulness exercises enhances insight and self-understanding. Reflection provides opportunities to identify recurring patterns, triggers, and effective coping strategies. This process deepens awareness, promotes personal growth, and strengthens the ability to apply mindfulness principles throughout the day. Prioritize consistency over duration. Even brief, daily mindfulness practice produces significant results when maintained over time. Short moments of focused attention multiple times a day reinforce the habit and gradually improve mental clarity, emotional stability, and stress management. Consistent practice embeds mindfulness into the rhythm of daily life, creating lasting impact on mental and emotional health. Minimize distractions to strengthen focus. Reducing environmental noise, silencing digital devices, or choosing quiet spaces enhances the effectiveness of mindfulness exercises. Limiting interruptions allows deeper observation of thoughts, emotions, and sensations, strengthening the connection between awareness and clarity. Controlled practice reinforces the ability to remain attentive in more dynamic or challenging situations. Practice gratitude during mindfulness. Acknowledging positive aspects of the present moment enhances emotional balance and reinforces optimistic thinking. Gratitude cultivates satisfaction, reduces rumination, and shifts attention from scarcity or worry to abundance and possibility. Incorporating gratitude into mindfulness deepens its impact on stress reduction and overall mental well-being. Engage in mindful listening. Paying full attention to conversations without planning responses or judgment improves relationships, strengthens empathy, and enhances understanding. Active presence during interactions fosters connection, reduces misunderstandings, and promotes calm engagement with others. Mindful communication reinforces the habit of remaining centered and attentive in diverse situations. Use mindfulness to manage physical stress responses. Observing how the body reacts to tension, anxiety, or pressure allows timely interventions such as stretching, deep breathing, or short pauses. Addressing physical reactions early prevents escalation, preserves energy, and maintains clarity of thought, reinforcing resilience in daily life. Integrate mindfulness into goal-oriented activities. Approaching work, projects, or learning with full attention increases efficiency, accuracy, and satisfaction. Remaining present reduces distractions, enhances engagement, and improves the quality of effort. Mindfulness applied to tasks reinforces focus, reduces procrastination, and strengthens consistent progress toward objectives. Practice acceptance of circumstances beyond control. Mindfulness teaches acknowledgement of reality without resistance or judgment. Accepting situations as they are, rather than wishing them different, reduces stress, fosters clarity, and creates space for constructive action. Acceptance empowers the mind to focus on influenceable aspects, maximizing effectiveness and minimizing wasted energy. Use sensory awareness to anchor attention. Engaging fully with sights, sounds, smells, or textures in the present moment provides immediate grounding during stressful or distracting situations. Sensory observation strengthens focus, prevents overthinking, and enhances the ability to remain composed under pressure. Regular sensory engagement reinforces mindfulness as a reliable tool for mental clarity. Monitor progress and reflect on benefits. Tracking improvements in attention, stress management, and emotional stability reinforces motivation to maintain practice. Reflection ensures that mindfulness remains purposeful and that techniques are refined according to personal needs and experiences. Recognition of tangible benefits strengthens commitment and reinforces daily consistency. Pair mindfulness with intentional action. Awareness alone is insufficient without deliberate response. Observing thoughts and emotions guides informed decisions, constructive behavior, and measured responses. Mindfulness enhances the ability to act with intention, increasing effectiveness and reducing impulsive or reactive behavior in daily life. Commit to lifelong practice. Mindfulness is a skill strengthened through daily engagement over time. Consistent effort builds attention, emotional balance, and clarity, creating a foundation for a positive mental attitude. Daily mindfulness empowers the mind to navigate stress, maintain focus, and respond with composure and wisdom, shaping a life of intentionality and enduring personal growth. Ultimately, practicing mindfulness daily to reduce stress and gain clarity transforms the mind into a focused, resilient, and emotionally balanced state. By observing thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment, the mind develops presence, awareness, and control. Daily practice strengthens the ability to manage challenges, make deliberate decisions, and maintain consistent progress in life. Mindfulness cultivates a positive mental attitude, reduces stress, and empowers sustained personal growth by teaching the mind to remain centered, intentional, and clear in every circumstance. Chapter 17. Strengthen your body daily to support your mental health. Strengthening the body daily is a foundational practice that directly supports mental health, emotional balance, and overall well-being. Physical activity, proper nutrition, and consistent self-care create a resilient foundation for the mind, enhancing focus, reducing stress, and promoting a positive mental attitude. The body and mind are interconnected, and neglecting physical health often manifests as mental fatigue, anxiety, or diminished emotional resilience. By committing to daily practices that build strength, endurance, and vitality, individuals create an environment where the mind can operate optimally, allowing for clear thinking, disciplined habits, and consistent progress in personal growth. Begin by establishing a daily movement routine. Engaging in activities such as walking, stretching, strength training, or cardiovascular exercise stimulates circulation, improves energy levels, and releases endorphins that boost mood. Regular movement supports cognitive function, reduces symptoms of stress and anxiety, and enhances the brain's ability to respond to challenges with clarity and calm. Daily physical activity also builds consistency, discipline, and a sense of accomplishment that reinforces a positive mindset. Prioritize nutrition that fuels both body and mind. Consuming balanced meals rich in whole foods, vitamins, minerals, and protein supports energy, mental clarity, and emotional stability. Avoid excessive processed foods, refined sugars, and stimulants that disrupt focus or increase irritability. Hydration is equally important, as adequate water intake maintains concentration, prevents fatigue, and supports overall physiological function. A mindful approach to nutrition directly impacts mental health and provides the resources the body needs to perform optimally. Incorporate strength training into daily practice. Building muscle and maintaining physical strength improves endurance, posture, and energy. Strengthening the body increases confidence, reduces vulnerability to illness or injury, and fosters a sense of empowerment. Physical strength supports resilience, enabling the mind to approach life with greater determination, focus, and stability. Even moderate resistance exercises performed consistently yield measurable improvements in both body and mental performance. Prioritize sleep as a cornerstone of physical and mental health. Restorative sleep supports memory, emotional regulation, and cognitive function. Poor sleep impairs decision-making, increases irritability, and diminishes focus. Establish a consistent sleep schedule, create a calming bedtime routine, and limit distractions to ensure restorative rest. Quality sleep enhances the effectiveness of other physical practices and amplifies the benefits for mental health. Practice flexibility and mobility exercises. Stretching, yoga, or similar activities maintain range of motion, prevent injury, and reduce muscular tension that can contribute to mental fatigue or discomfort. Mindful movement encourages body awareness, reinforces the connection between body and mind, and creates a sense of balance and composure. Daily attention to flexibility supports long-term physical and mental resilience. Engage in consistent breathing exercises or controlled movement techniques. Activities that combine breath with motion, such as yoga or Tai Chi, strengthen both physical and mental endurance. Focusing on breath while moving reduces stress, enhances concentration, and creates a sense of calm presence. These practices integrate physical conditioning with mental clarity, reinforcing a positive mental attitude through the body's rhythm. Cultivate a routine of daily self-care practices. Hygiene, posture, and mindful physical maintenance influence confidence, mental clarity, and emotional stability. Attending to physical appearance and comfort reinforces self-respect and encourages proactive engagement in life. Consistent self-care practices integrate physical wellness with psychological reinforcement, supporting the development of discipline and positive mindset. Address mental and physical stress simultaneously. Recognize how tension, poor posture, or inactivity contribute to mental strain. Implement daily exercises that relieve tension, promote circulation, and release endorphins. Activities such as stretching, resistance exercises, and light cardio reduce cortisol levels, improving emotional balance and cognitive clarity. Regular practice creates a feedback loop where physical well-being enhances mental resilience and mental focus encourages continued physical care. Implement goal setting for physical health. Establish achievable targets for strength, endurance, flexibility, and nutrition. Tracking progress provides motivation, reinforces consistency, and creates tangible evidence of growth. Daily action toward these goals strengthens discipline, reinforces confidence, and cultivates a sense of achievement that extends to mental and emotional resilience. Incorporate mindful observation of the body. Pay attention to sensations, posture, energy and fatigue. Awareness allows timely intervention, prevents injury, and strengthens the connection between physical and mental states. Engage in regular outdoor activity when possible. Exposure to sunlight, fresh air, and natural environments supports mood regulation, vitamin D synthesis, and cognitive alertness. Outdoor exercise increases motivation, reduces stress, and strengthens mental resilience. Connecting with the environment provides sensory stimulation that enhances both physical and mental health, supporting a consistent positive mindset. Practice progressive improvement. Gradually increase intensity, duration, or complexity of physical activity to challenge the body and promote adaptation. Incremental growth reinforces discipline, prevents stagnation, and strengthens both body and mind. Daily commitment to measurable improvement fosters a sense of purpose, determination, and confidence in the ability to overcome challenges. Include recovery and rest strategies. Recognize that the body requires time to rebuild and adapt following exertion. Rest days, active recovery, and relaxation techniques prevent injury, reduce stress, and enhance performance. Proper recovery strengthens endurance, mental clarity, and long-term consistency in physical practice. Daily attention to recovery complements effort and reinforces sustainable habits. Foster nutritional timing to optimize energy and focus. Align meals and snacks with periods of activity and mental demand. Proper timing improves performance, reduces fatigue, and enhances cognitive function. Daily attention to eating patterns supports physical health and reinforces mental clarity, creating synergy between body and mind. Integrate social or community-based physical activities. Engaging with others in exercise or wellness routines provides accountability, motivation, and emotional support. Group activity encourages consistency, reinforces discipline, and enhances the overall experience of physical care. Social engagement also contributes to emotional resilience and strengthens positive mental habits. Track and adjust routines based on outcomes. Regularly assess strength, energy levels, mood, and cognitive performance to ensure that physical practices support mental health effectively. Adjustments create personalized strategies that maximize results, reinforce motivation, and maintain sustainable progress. Daily reflection ensures that physical care aligns with evolving needs and goals. Pair physical activity with mental focus exercises. Combining movement with intentional attention, visualization, or problem-solving enhances cognitive function and reinforces mental resilience. Integrating body and mind practice strengthens the connection between physical vitality and emotional stability, fostering a positive mental attitude and sustainable personal growth. Commit to daily consistency over perfection. Daily engagement, even if brief or moderate, builds lasting habits, reinforces discipline, and produces cumulative benefits for both body and mind. Consistency fosters confidence, resilience, and a sense of accomplishment that extends beyond physical health to mental and emotional strength. Ultimately, strengthening the body daily to support mental health establishes a foundation for resilience, clarity, and consistent personal growth. Physical conditioning, mindful attention, proper nutrition, and restorative practices work together to optimize energy, reduce stress, and enhance emotional stability. By committing to daily action, observing the body, and gradually improving strength and endurance, individuals create a powerful synergy between physical vitality and mental clarity, cultivating a positive mental attitude and a life of sustained well-being, focus, and achievement. Chapter 18. Celebrate small wins daily to reinforce your positive momentum. Celebrating small wins daily is a powerful practice that reinforces momentum, builds confidence, and strengthens a positive mental attitude. Many people underestimate the impact of minor achievements, but consistent acknowledgement of progress creates a cumulative effect that fuels motivation and resilience. Small victories act as reminders that effort produces results, no matter how incremental, and they maintain focus on growth rather than setbacks. Recognizing daily accomplishments prevents discouragement, encourages persistence, and reinforces the belief that change and improvement are possible. By making celebration a habit, the mind becomes attuned to progress, generating a cycle of motivation, commitment, and positive action that supports long-term success. The first step is developing awareness of accomplishments throughout the day. Achievements do not need to be monumental. Completing a task, learning something new, making a thoughtful decision, or maintaining discipline counts as a win. By consciously noting these moments, the mind shifts focus from what remains undone to what has been achieved. This perspective fosters satisfaction, reduces stress, and reinforces the value of daily effort. Create a system for recording wins. Writing them down in a journal, digital note, or checklist enhances visibility and creates a tangible record of progress. Reflection on these accomplishments at the end of each day strengthens recognition of effort and provides evidence of growth over time. Recording wins reinforces habit formation, encourages consistent action, and strengthens belief in one's capabilities. Acknowledge effort, not just results. Success is not always immediate, but consistent effort produces long-term benefits. Celebrating dedication and persistence reinforces resilience and motivates continued engagement. Focusing on effort encourages a growth-oriented mindset and reduces frustration when immediate outcomes are not apparent. Integrate celebration into daily routines. Take brief moments after completing tasks to pause, reflect, and affirm progress. Even small rituals, such as a moment of gratitude, a personal acknowledgement, or a quiet celebration, reinforce positive reinforcement. Daily integration ensures that recognition becomes habitual rather than sporadic, creating steady reinforcement of momentum. Share wins with supportive people. Communicating accomplishments to friends, family, or colleagues amplifies their impact, provides social reinforcement, and strengthens accountability. Positive acknowledgement from others enhances confidence, builds connection, and reinforces the habit of celebrating progress consistently. Social support adds an external layer of motivation that complements internal recognition. Focus on process milestones as well as end goals. Breaking larger objectives into manageable steps allows for frequent celebration of progress along the way. Achieving these intermediate milestones reinforces consistency, strengthens confidence, and sustains engagement with long-term goals. Recognizing incremental improvement prevents overwhelm and maintains focus on tangible, achievable actions. Use visualization to enhance the impact of small wins. Mentally revisiting achievements and reflecting on the effort required strengthens motivation and consolidates learning. Visualization reinforces the connection between effort and success, making future challenges appear more manageable. Daily mental reinforcement amplifies the emotional and psychological benefits of celebrating accomplishments. Pair recognition of wins with positive self-talk. Expressing affirmations such as, "I am capable," "I made progress today," or "I am growing consistently," strengthens self-belief and reinforces mental resilience. Self-affirmation enhances emotional well-being, reduces self-doubt, and maintains motivation to continue taking deliberate actions. Reflect on the cumulative impact of daily wins. Recognizing that small actions compound over time builds appreciation for consistency and effort. Reflection highlights progress that may be invisible in day-to-day activity, providing motivation to maintain momentum and reinforcing belief in personal capability. Tracking cumulative growth ensures that small wins contribute to long-term transformation. Prioritize wins that align with values and goals. Recognizing progress that supports personal purpose or meaningful objectives enhances motivation and reinforces deliberate action. Celebration linked to values strengthens commitment, fosters satisfaction, and reinforces a sense of purpose in daily activities. Alignment ensures that acknowledgement supports meaningful growth rather than arbitrary accomplishments. Encourage curiosity about progress. Reflecting on why certain actions led to successful outcomes reinforces learning and insight. Understanding patterns of effectiveness supports decision-making, strengthens confidence, and informs future strategies. Daily reflection transforms celebration into a tool for continual personal growth and improvement. Celebrate resilience and persistence. Maintaining consistent effort despite obstacles, stress, or uncertainty is a significant achievement in itself. Acknowledging endurance reinforces determination, strengthens the ability to handle future challenges, and cultivates a mindset of persistence. Recognizing resilience emphasizes strength of character and reinforces positive momentum regardless of immediate results. Use mindful presence when celebrating. Fully engaging with the moment of achievement enhances emotional impact and reinforces recognition. Awareness amplifies the satisfaction of accomplishment and solidifies neural connections between effort, success, and motivation. Mindful acknowledgement strengthens psychological reinforcement, making small wins emotionally meaningful and long-lasting. Foster an environment that supports recognition. Surrounding yourself with reminders of progress, encouraging feedback, or visual cues reinforces attention to accomplishments. Environmental reinforcement strengthens habit formation, maintains focus on growth, and supports sustained positive momentum. Daily cues help the mind stay oriented toward recognition and motivation. Pair celebration with goal reassessment. Reflecting on progress enables adjustment of strategies, prioritization of next steps, and alignment with long-term objectives. Combining acknowledgement of wins with planning enhances effectiveness, maintains motivation, and ensures continued forward movement. Celebration thus becomes both a reward and a strategic tool for growth. Develop the habit of gratitude in tandem with celebration. Appreciating personal effort, external support, and opportunity enhances the emotional impact of wins and reinforces a positive perspective. Gratitude strengthens mental resilience, reduces stress, and reinforces a constructive focus on growth and achievement. Track emotional responses to wins. Recognizing the feelings associated with accomplishment, pride, satisfaction, or joy reinforces positive associations with effort and persistence. Emotional awareness strengthens motivation, enhances self-efficacy, and reinforces the habit of celebrating progress consistently. Maintain a mindset of continuous reinforcement. Daily acknowledgement of achievements ensures that positive momentum is sustained and compounded over time. Recognizing effort, learning, resilience, and progress creates a cumulative effect that fuels consistent action, optimism, and long-term growth. Celebration becomes an integral component of personal development, reinforcing habits, confidence, and a positive mental attitude. Ultimately, celebrating small wins daily reinforces progress, strengthens motivation, and cultivates a positive mental attitude that supports long-term personal growth. By acknowledging effort, learning, resilience, and incremental achievements, the mind develops confidence, persistence, and focus. Daily recognition of accomplishments transforms effort into momentum, sustains engagement with goals, and builds a habit of optimism, discipline, and purposeful action that drives meaningful change and lasting success. Chapter 19. Seek knowledge daily to expand your perspective and growth. Seeking knowledge daily is a transformative practice that expands perspective, strengthens the mind, and accelerates personal growth. Knowledge is not simply information, it is the foundation for critical thinking, effective decision-making, and meaningful action. By consistently dedicating time to learn, observe, and reflect, the mind develops flexibility, curiosity, and the capacity to approach challenges with confidence and clarity. Daily engagement with new ideas, skills, and perspectives fosters adaptability, encourages innovation, and reinforces a positive mental attitude that supports sustained self-improvement. The pursuit of knowledge cultivates wisdom, enhances understanding of oneself and the world, and strengthens the ability to make informed choices in every aspect of life. Start by dedicating focused time each day to learning. Even brief, consistent periods of study, reading, or practice produce significant growth over time. Daily commitment develops discipline and reinforces the habit of continuous improvement. Regular engagement with knowledge strengthens mental endurance, sharpens memory, and promotes clarity of thought. Prioritize quality over quantity, choosing sources and materials that are reliable, informative, and aligned with personal growth goals. Embrace diverse forms of knowledge. Learning is not limited to books or formal education. It includes practical experiences, conversations with others, observation of environments, and reflection on personal experiences. Ask questions consistently. Curiosity drives the acquisition of knowledge and prevents stagnation. Challenging assumptions, exploring alternatives, and seeking clarification foster a deeper understanding of subjects. Daily questioning strengthens analytical skills, encourages active engagement, and builds the habit of thoughtful inquiry. Embracing questions promotes humility and a recognition that learning is a lifelong process. Applying knowledge practically. Learning without action diminishes impact. Integrating new insights into daily routines, decision-making, or problem-solving reinforces understanding and demonstrates tangible value. Applying knowledge strengthens memory, builds confidence, and develops the skill of transforming theory into effective practice. Daily application ensures that learning produces measurable results and reinforces the habit of intentional improvement. Reflect on lessons learned. After acquiring new knowledge, take time to consider its implications, relevance, and applications. Reflection deepens comprehension, uncovers connections between ideas, and enhances the ability to integrate insights into future decisions. Daily reflection transforms raw information into meaningful understanding, ensuring that learning contributes to growth rather than remaining abstract. Seek mentorship and guidance. Learning from individuals with experience, expertise, or unique perspectives accelerates growth and provides practical insights that may not be found in books alone. Daily engagement with mentors or knowledgeable peers exposes the mind to alternative viewpoints, challenges assumptions, and strengthens critical thinking. Mentorship reinforces accountability, encourages curiosity, and fosters consistent pursuit of knowledge. Document learning consistently. Maintaining a journal, notes, or digital record of ideas, insights, and reflections reinforces memory, encourages synthesis, and allows for tracking progress over time. Daily documentation strengthens organization of thought, highlights patterns, and creates a tangible resource for review and future application. Recording knowledge ensures that lessons are preserved and easily accessible for continuous growth. Prioritize challenges that stretch understanding. Pursue subjects, skills, or experiences that push the mind beyond comfort zones. Tackling difficult material strengthens problem-solving abilities, improves resilience, and enhances cognitive flexibility. Daily engagement with challenging concepts ensures growth is deliberate, intentional, and aligned with long-term development. Embracing complexity fosters confidence and prepares the mind to navigate uncertainty effectively. Balance depth with breadth. Dive deeply into specialized areas while maintaining exposure to broader topics that expand perspective. Depth provides mastery and competence, while breadth cultivates adaptability, insight, and the ability to see connections across disciplines. Daily attention to both dimensions creates a well-rounded mind capable of critical thinking, innovation, and strategic action. Incorporate technology and resources efficiently. Leverage online courses, podcasts, research articles, or educational platforms to access information conveniently. Curating reliable sources ensures learning is efficient, accurate, and aligned with personal objectives. Daily engagement with curated resources reinforces the habit of continuous improvement and maximizes the impact of time dedicated to learning. Teach or share knowledge with others. Explaining concepts, mentoring peers, or discussing ideas strengthens retention and clarifies understanding. Daily opportunities to share insights encourage active engagement, refined communication skills, and reinforce mastery of subjects. Teaching transforms knowledge into a tool for influence, leadership, and continued growth. Engage in critical thinking. Analyze information, evaluate credibility, and question assumptions to build a discerning mind. Critical thinking enhances decision-making, reduces susceptibility to misinformation, and strengthens the ability to approach challenges logically. Daily practice of analytical reasoning ensures that knowledge is not passively absorbed, but actively understood and applied. Integrate experiential learning. Hands-on activities, real-world problem-solving, and practical experimentation provide context and deepen understanding. Engaging the senses and testing concepts in action reinforces retention and builds confidence. Daily exposure to experiential learning strengthens adaptability and enhances the ability to apply knowledge under varying circumstances. Use reflection to identify gaps in understanding, recognizing areas where knowledge is incomplete or unclear creates opportunities for focused learning. Daily assessment of understanding ensures that progress is purposeful and that the mind remains open to continuous development. Embrace lifelong learning as a mindset. Recognize that growth is ongoing and that every day presents opportunities to expand knowledge and perspective. Daily commitment to learning reinforces the belief that improvement is continuous, achievable, and essential to personal and professional fulfillment. Lifelong learning cultivates resilience, adaptability, and a proactive approach to challenges. Balance consumption and creation. Absorb new information while also producing work, insights, or projects based on learning. Creating and applying knowledge consolidates understanding and demonstrates tangible progress. Daily engagement in both learning and creation ensures active participation in personal growth and strengthens confidence in abilities. Evaluate and adjust learning strategies. Monitor effectiveness of methods, sources, and time allocation to ensure efficient growth. Experimenting with different techniques and reflecting on outcomes improves comprehension, retention, and application. Daily evaluation reinforces intentionality in learning and ensures that knowledge acquisition is purposeful, structured, and impactful. Commit to integrating knowledge into life consistently. Daily practice of learning, reflection, and application creates a cumulative effect that strengthens confidence, adaptability, and mental resilience. Knowledge becomes a tool for informed action, deliberate growth, and positive mindset reinforcement. Consistent engagement ensures that intellectual growth supports broader personal development and lasting success. Ultimately, seeking knowledge daily expands perspective, strengthens the mind, and cultivates a habit of continuous growth. By dedicating consistent effort to learning, reflecting, applying, and sharing insights, individuals build resilience, adaptability, and a positive mental attitude. Daily pursuit of understanding transforms information into wisdom, enhances decision-making, and fosters confidence to navigate challenges. Knowledge becomes a foundation for deliberate action, emotional stability, and sustained personal and professional growth, reinforcing a life of curiosity, discipline, and meaningful achievement. Chapter 20. Commit to lifelong improvement by learning something new daily. Committing to lifelong improvement by learning something new daily is one of the most transformative habits anyone can develop. Growth does not happen by accident. It requires deliberate effort, consistency, and the willingness to step beyond comfort zones. Each day presents an opportunity to acquire skills, gain insights, and expand understanding, and embracing this process ensures that the mind remains agile, adaptable, and resilient. Learning something new daily strengthens mental flexibility, deepens perspective, and nurtures a mindset that actively seeks progress in all areas of life. Over time, these small daily actions compound into meaningful transformation, allowing individuals to evolve continuously, overcome challenges more effectively, and build a life of purpose and achievement. Start by identifying areas where growth is desired. This could include professional skills, creative pursuits, emotional intelligence, physical abilities, or general knowledge. Having clarity on what to focus on ensures that daily learning is intentional and meaningful. Each new concept, skill, or insight contributes to broader development and reinforces the habit of continuous improvement. Consistent effort in chosen areas builds momentum, confidence, and measurable results over time. Dedicate time each day for learning, even if it is brief. Short, focused periods of study, practice, or reflection are more effective when done consistently than occasional long sessions. Daily engagement builds discipline, reinforces mental endurance, and ensures that growth remains steady. The key is to treat learning as a non-negotiable part of the daily routine, integrating it naturally into life rather than waiting for ideal conditions or motivation. Embrace variety in learning methods. Books, podcasts, online courses, practical exercises, conversations, and observation all contribute to a well-rounded approach. Exposure to different formats strengthens comprehension, maintains engagement, and allows for multiple ways to internalize knowledge. Daily engagement with diverse sources ensures that the mind remains stimulated, curious, and adaptable to new challenges. Apply what is learned immediately. Knowledge without action is incomplete. Practicing newly acquired skills or integrating insights into decision-making reinforces retention and demonstrates the practical value of learning. Daily application creates tangible progress, strengthens confidence, and deepens understanding. This process of learning, applying, and reflecting transforms information into wisdom that supports personal growth. Reflect on daily learning to consolidate progress. Taking time to review what was learned, how it can be applied, and what it reveals about strengths or gaps deepens understanding and promotes self-awareness. Reflection also reinforces motivation, clarifies purpose, and informs future learning priorities. By committing to reflection every day, knowledge becomes actionable and aligned with broader personal development goals. Celebrate small learning milestones. Recognizing progress, even if incremental, reinforces motivation, builds confidence, and sustains momentum. Each new skill mastered, insight gained, or concept understood represents a step forward. Daily acknowledgement of learning achievements fosters a positive mindset and encourages continued engagement with self-improvement. Seek challenges that stretch abilities. Engaging with tasks or subjects that are slightly beyond current capabilities promotes growth and develops resilience. Facing difficulty encourages problem-solving, persistence, and adaptability. Daily exposure to challenges ensures that improvement is active rather than passive, pushing the mind to expand continuously. Incorporate curiosity into everyday experiences. Observe the world, ask questions, and explore unfamiliar topics. Curiosity drives discovery and encourages engagement with learning opportunities that might otherwise be overlooked. Daily cultivation of curiosity fosters mental agility, enhances creativity, and encourages lifelong exploration of ideas and skills. Document learning consistently. Maintaining a journal, digital notes, or a progress log reinforces retention, provides a reference for reflection, and highlights cumulative growth. Daily record-keeping transforms abstract learning into tangible evidence of improvement, strengthening commitment and accountability. Documentation also allows patterns, insights, and connections to emerge, enriching understanding over time. Integrate social learning. Conversations, collaborations, and mentorship expand perspective, expose the mind to alternative viewpoints, and deepen comprehension. Sharing knowledge reinforces understanding and creates opportunities for feedback and growth. Engaging with others in the learning process daily amplifies effectiveness and strengthens relationships rooted in mutual development. Prioritize adaptability in learning. The world changes continuously, and maintaining relevance requires the ability to adjust, unlearn outdated concepts, and embrace new approaches. Daily exposure to new ideas or methods builds flexibility, resilience, and the ability to respond effectively to change. Lifelong improvement relies on a mindset that welcomes evolution rather than clinging to familiarity. Pair learning with mindfulness. Paying attention to the process of acquiring knowledge, observing progress, and noting insights strengthens retention and encourages intentionality. Experiment with learning strategies. Explore different techniques such as visualization, repetition, discussion, or teaching others to identify what is most effective. Daily experimentation encourages adaptability, optimizes results, and prevents stagnation. Trying new approaches maintains engagement, fosters creativity, and ensures that improvement continues steadily over time. Balance depth and breadth. Delve deeply into specific skills or subjects, while also exposing the mind to broader areas of knowledge. Depth provides mastery and competence, while breadth promotes flexibility, context, and interconnected understanding. Daily attention to both dimensions ensures that learning contributes to well-rounded growth and strategic thinking. Embrace setbacks as learning opportunities. Mistakes, misunderstandings, or challenges reveal areas for improvement and provide critical insights. Viewing setbacks as lessons rather than failures strengthens resilience and encourages persistence. Commit to incremental progress. Recognize that growth is the result of consistent daily effort rather than sudden transformation. Small actions compound over time, producing significant improvement and reinforcing confidence. Daily focus on manageable steps ensures sustainability and prevents overwhelm while maintaining momentum toward long-term goals. Teach or mentor others to reinforce learning. Explaining concepts, demonstrating skills, or guiding peers strengthens mastery and clarifies understanding. Daily opportunities to share knowledge, reinforce retention, foster communication skills, and contribute to personal and collective growth. Teaching transforms learning into meaningful application and impact. Seek feedback regularly. Constructive feedback identifies blind spots, highlights strengths, and guides adjustments in approach. Daily receptiveness to input encourages humility, self-awareness, and refinement of skills. Incorporating feedback into daily practice ensures that learning remains purposeful, effective, and aligned with continuous improvement. Develop a mindset of curiosity and openness. Approaching each day with the intention to learn something new encourages observation, inquiry, and active engagement. Daily commitment to curiosity fosters flexibility, critical thinking, and resilience, creating a foundation for sustained personal growth. Lifelong improvement becomes a natural, integral part of life, rather than an occasional effort. Ultimately, committing to lifelong improvement by learning something new daily creates a dynamic cycle of growth, confidence, and adaptability. Each day presents opportunities to expand understanding, acquire new skills, and reflect on personal progress. Consistent learning cultivates resilience, sharpens the mind, and reinforces a positive mental attitude. By embracing daily growth as a deliberate practice, individuals strengthen their capacity to face challenges, achieve goals, and live intentionally, transforming each day into a meaningful step toward lifelong success, fulfillment, and continual self-improvement.